On that note, for the third time, Dave, take us in.
Previously on Dark Heresy.
Have you got music on?
Yeah. You should be able to hear it. Okay. The acolytes of the woman once known as Inquisitor Antonia Mesmeron, accompanied by an agent of Inquisitor Van Voigens of the Ordo Xenos, a sketchy doctor, a bounty hunter, and the previously mentioned Inquisitor's ex-girlfriend, were pinned down in a shanty house behind the Carnival of Catastrophe, caught by surprise, perhaps not expecting further combat so soon after slaughtering the Skev gang in the Carnival's grounds. Trantia had taken a nasty shot to the chest, puncturing her lung. Vernetta was almost killed by a similar shot from the darkness, but Dr. Pench killed the sniper, shooting at the servant of the Omnissiah, and Gaius blasted the head from the shoulders of the second sniper. Screaming for aid, fumbling around in a gaping hole, pause for Johnny. Siegfried had a feeling he knew what this was all about. They wanted him. Pressure Point were after him. But why just him? Siegfried has had all manner of incidents and shenanigans since arriving here on Desolium. He's responsible for the death of a number of Lady Pagny's family, but these goons have been turning up since before all that started. Whatever they want him for, it must be something that occurred before he began assisting her ladyship. Of course, in the first few days on this world, Siegfried and Gaius, along with Canny, had kidnapped Lans Gul'jian, a possible witness in the Black Orb's mystery. But these goons aren't interested in Gaius, so it must be something else that has triggered their hunt for the last Lord von Morton. Gaius was with him back on Scintilla too when they took down Grec Fortis, so it must be something earlier than that. And Siegfried's crimes on Granithor were many, so many young women tracked and hunted in the forests. He was sentenced to death. His death was faked. His father managed to get him off-world to Iacanthos where no one would ever find him. And there he had encountered a young woman, Celessa de Vord, daughter of a rival noble house from Granithor. She'd been searching for something. A tomb. The family business of the Von Mortons and the de Vords, and pretty much everyone else on Granithor, was death. It is a tomb world, a place where the dead are laid to rest, and the de Vords and the Von Mortons were both seeking to expand their territory. They had both, for some unknown reason, chosen Iacanthos as the world upon which to begin branching out further into the sector. A curious choice, for the construction of tombs was forbidden upon that primitive backwater world. The Ashleen, the natives of Iacanthos, burn their dead due to an old superstition regarding some giant bird god that would take the souls of those left behind in the earth. But there was some strange loophole in ancient laws written so long ago by St. Drusus himself that allowed the expansion of already existing tombs. And the de Vords and the Von Mortons somehow both knew of this law, and both sought to exploit it. There was a tomb on Iacanthos, one lost to time and sand, a place where the brave soldiers who lost their lives liberating that world 2,000 years earlier were interred. Celessa de Vord sought it out, found it, and claimed it. Siegfried was sent to Iacanthos to find this place too under a false identity, and he too found the tomb, and Lady de Vord at the tomb's entrance, and he killed her. That was it. Siegfried was sure. That was what this was all about, the death of Celessa de Vord of Granithor. Pench came running to his aid, taking the polygun from Siegfried's bloody hands, cramming it into the wound, and as Trantia managed to catch a breath, the bleeding ceased. The gloves came off, and the withered, blackened hand began to glow. She began to heal herself, clambering to her feet with anger and fire in her eyes. Trantia sliced the meat of her own hand with the long, curved mono blade she wields. The blood ignited, coating the blade and dripping from her free hand as free-running fire. "My God, she's hot," quipped Von Morton. Hannibal, still prone, popped grenades at the mercenaries. Gnaeus sprayed lasfire at their leader, Psyker, who hurled warp energy at the bounty hunter. Gaius switched to the serpentine blade as he was charged by a metallic hound, finding himself in a duel with the heavy cyber mastiff that hurled itself through the window of the shanty house. There was smoke everywhere from the grenade hurled by one of the mercs. Vernetta sprayed fire from her rifle, peeking out behind the doorway. Seraph hacked and sliced, roaring to the sky in rage. And with Trantia stable, Siegfried brought out the big guns. Literally. The sniper rifle took one man's head clean from his shoulders as Gnaeus dropped his own weapon, rushing at the enemy in his heavy carapace. Punching with a wrist-mounted power blade, Hannibal drew his pistol, slotting a hole through the head of one of the machine gunners. Gaius was in something of a stalemate with the dog, but the fight was slowly edging in his favour, and then Siegfried strode in, power blade in hand, slicing through the dog. He was a bad dog. A very, very bad dog. Down, boy, quipped Von Morton. Was there no end to his quipping?
No end to his crimes.
Perhaps this is the real reason that Pressure Point seek him. Perhaps he is wanted for crimes against puns. Gaius burst out of the smoke field, searching for targets. Hannibal was caught by a stun grenade. "Duck, Mr. King!" yelled Pench before shooting the Catachan in the back. But the tide had turned. The mercs were decimated. They have underestimated you again. Seraph, Siegfried and Hannibal chased down the last of the mercs, and you were done. Trantia laid a hand on Hannibal's arm. She smiled at him as the pain from Pench's wild shot washed away. Trantia is oddly sporadic with this healing ability she has. She just seems to use it every now and then. There seems to be no rhyme or reason as to why. Siegfried, meanwhile, left his mark upon the bodies, scoring his initials into the carapace and the flesh of those that were left. Weapons and armour were gathered. Hannibal found a data slate that he gave to Vernetta. Vernetta had a nice new toy, a harness for a multi-laser. And she channeled that little part of Alyssa that lurks within her mind. What does all this mean? She pondered. The gates to the mansion are no longer working. Alyssa was not sure. Parts of her knowledge was inaccessible in this fragmented version of herself. But the likely explanation, she said, was that the Bone Singer was no more. Pause for Johnny. Trantia knew a little bit about this, it seemed. She hadn't fully read the book on the mansion that the Inquisitor has left behind. It was a strange thing, she said, hard to decipher. But there was something about the construct being bound to the will of the Bone Singer. The Bone Singer.
Before you shaking his head like, no, Dave.
I know.
I'm beyond. I'm above that, Dave. How dare you tarnish me with that brush? And then later on, he just fucking. You know, I mean, a few moments ago, he's fucking. You know, no, I'm not. How dare you, Dave?
I've realised we've conditioned him, Alan. When you say pause for Johnny, he doesn't laugh. But if you just leave a gap, he does. The Bone Singer.
Games within games.
A Psyker, perhaps, offered Gaius. If the Bone Singer is no more, then what of the construct? Mesmeron is a Psyker. Mesmeron is dead. Of that, Trantia, Seraph and Pench seem quite certain. They can just tell somehow. Is Mesmeron the Bone Singer? It seems possible. It seems likely. It seems like a strange title as well. Perhaps almost alien seeming. But Vernetta doesn't trust that book or the wisdom within it. Perhaps she thinks it might be a book of lies. Or perhaps I'm just tentatively reaching for a connection between two campaigns that isn't there. So what now? Siegfried spoke of turning himself in. Trantia doesn't like that idea. Sure, you all have tracking implants, but Pressure Point aren't stupid. They would check for such things, surely. Faking Siegfried's death maybe is an option to throw the mercs off his trail. But Siegfried's done that once before. That's kind of how he got into this mess in the first place. He doesn't have a good track record of faking his death. But what about Canny and the others? Were they still trapped in the mansion? If so, what had become of them? What if the construct has broken down? Perhaps they escaped. Perhaps they could be contacted. Gaius, among his many modifications, has a long-range Vox in his leg, because why not? But there was no contact with the others when he tried to use this device, piggybacking it off other Voxes he could reach in range. Which meant they were either still in the mansion or out of the range of the old leg tenor. Seraph was on edge, ranting and raving, waving away Hannibal's attempts to calm her. She was done, fucking done, she said. She had agreed to help Hannibal in exchange for his help with Speer and Paolo. Those things were done. But this, whatever you were doing here, this was not helping Hannibal. This was some other bullshit. Bullshit that appeared to be Siegfried's fault. And Seraph has been through much in her life. Born and raised a dancer acrobat in the Carnival of Catastrophe, taken from there, supposedly willingly, by the woman she loved, mind-wiped, trained, repurposed, enslaved, possessed, exercised, mind-wiped, retrained, repurposed again, lied to, betrayed, and recently she's had to cull some of her friends and family. There's no wonder she's a little emotional right now, but she was done, she said. Unless, of course...
Toxic relationship, mate. 101.
That's literally what it was all supposed to be about. She was done, she told you, unless you were willing to pay her to stay. But you didn't have the coin. But you do have weapons. Pressure points weapons and armor. You could sell those to pay for Seraph's assistance. But how? Where would you sell such things? Gaius and Siegfried know a place. They went there once with Canny. Vernetta has been there too, with Spring, for different reasons. Ludmilla's Den is the name of it. It is a vile place of scum and villainy. It is the heart of the Workers' District, a recreation zone in the lower mid-hive of Decilium Primus. It is there that Canny dwells sometimes. It is there that Canny worms his way into the Brotherhood, the coalition of gangs led by the enigmatic King Sanchez. That's where you would go. And so you found a barrow of hot dogs, and you filled it with guns and hot dogs, and you set off into the hive once more.
That's a Johnny.
Wasn't expecting one there. Trantia is fatigued.
Dave, I mean, come on, Dave, hot dog.
I know. I don't know why I wasn't expecting one there. It seems obvious in hindsight. Trantia is fatigued. Other than that, everyone is hunky-dory at the moment, according to my records. Little bit of really exciting stuff. Everyone's favourite thing about RPGs. A little bit of inventory management. So if you look at Roll20, I'm just going to pop up two handouts. There's the loot table, which is everything you've gathered from the pressure point guys. There's also the carry limits of what you've all capable of carrying. Obviously, you've got this barrow as well. Now, the barrow will let you carry a certain amount, and it will allow... It basically... allows you to carry more than you would normally. But there might have to be some decisions here about what you take and what you don't take. So if you have a look at those carry limits, Siegfried, you've got 6 kilos of weight left you can carry. Would you like to grab anything out of the loot pile?
Yeah.
This is for selling, by the way, not necessarily. I mean, I don't think there's anything there that's worth you taking personally.
No.
But
just allocate me something. I don't mind. Carry some ammo or something like that.
I'll take 2 heavy auto rotary rifles at 30k.
Okay.
I've got 4k left. So.
Hang on a sec. I'm going to give Siegfried the night vision goggles.
Yeah, I'll take them. Yeah.
There's 6 kilos of night vision goggles. Gaius, you're taking the rotary cannons.
Yeah.
Oh, get them attached to your shoulders.
I've actually can just walk and fire as well.
Yeah, the only problem with that is you can do that because you've got bulging biceps, haven't you? But these are they're heavy weapons, so you'd need the heavy weapon talent, or you'd still be at -20. But these things, they're like a short-barreled minigun. They're basically like they've only got the stopping power of like a good quality auto gun, but they've got a really high rate of fire. Their primary use is like suppression. So yeah, Gaius, you've still got 4 kilos if you want to carry anything else.
I'm just trying to work it out. I think I'll grab the oh shit, the mana. Let's see, what's more valuable?
Well, you don't know, do you? It all depends on what prices you're going to get for things.
4 kg. So I could take. Take 4 of the smoke. Oh no, I could take 6 smoke and I could take 1 auto gun and I'll take 1 auto gun and then the 2 cannons. What I said.
Yep. Okay.
3 guns.
Cool.
And that leaves me 0.5, and then I'll take 1 night vision goggle, and that's me bang on the limit.
Yep.
That's me. That's all I can carry. There you go, people.
Yep. Cool. Hannibal, are you taking anything extra?
2 auto guns, 2 auto pistols.
Okay. Vernetta, you are currently weighted down by the weight of your multi-laser. What would you like to do? You are 23 kilos over your carry limit, so you can still carry that for now, but you're going to start to tire very quickly.
Gaius, would you carry my multi-laser?
Gaius is already laden down with rotary cannons.
Is everyone loaded up?
Pench can carry a lot.
Yeah, Pench could maybe carry something for you. There's also
He's
the
got
barrow, like I
36
say.
HP.
The barrow...
I'll offer it to Pench, Dave. Then,
Yep,
if
Pench
he's
will
got
carry that.
inventory.
Do you know what the multi-laser weighs off the top of your head?
I can find out really quickly. It says here. Actually, no, but I can have a look if you want. If you want to do something else.
No, it's right, I'll find it. Uh, $35 kilos. Okay, so that means you would be 12 kilos under your limit now.
Okay.
Is there anything else you'd like to carry?
Whereabouts is the that handout, Dave?
Right at the top.
Loot.
Right at the top
Is
of
it
the
called
journal.
loot table.
Yep.
It's just straight behind the carry limit.
How much space do you say have?
You will now have 12 kilos.
Yeah, I guess I'll just take 4. Actually, no, Mother Sword's not going to be very much. So, out of the rifles, the guns, what's left?
There's still 5 auto guns. The Pax Factorum's still there.
Yeah, I'll take the Pax Factorum and an autogun. We got all the rotary cannon ammo, I take it.
Yeah, I'm not going to concern myself about ammo.
Anyway, yeah, no worries. Actually, there's a couple of kilograms, right?
Yep.
Cool. Well, I'll just fill up on night vision goggles then for the remainder.
Okay.
They're probably worth something.
What did you have left? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention there.
I think it was 2. Was it 2.5? I said I had 10 on the autogun and the Pax Factorum. That'd leave what you say. I was 12.5 under.
Yeah.
So 2.5. Then.
Okay. Trantia's going to. What's she got? 12 kilos. She's going to take. So that's 4. She's going to take 3 auto guns, which comes to I've just realised Siegfried's got all the night vision. So do you want to take the photo visors instead?
Yeah, I'll take one photo visor because that's all I can hold. How much weight can the cart hold?
That's I'm gonna come to that in a minute. I'm just working out what everyone can carry, and then we'll worry about that. So that was 7, 9, 10, 10 and a half. Gnaeus can't carry a great deal. He's quite weighted down by stuff, but he's going to take.
I am overburdened.
All right, so what's left after you guys tool up is all the armor. So a few of you took sets of armor, and there's about 5 sets left, full sets. There are 9 stub autos. So what's that? 9, 13 and a half. You've got the heavy rotary. The swords, it's 12 swords. Yeah, so this is where we're starting to. Don't worry about the beads and the respirators. Okay, so the barrow, basically the idea of the barrow is you can take it in turns moving it, and it doesn't really affect what you can carry, but you can only get so much in it. Realistically, it's probably going to be mostly full of armor. Chances are that armor is going to be worth the most money as well. And you can probably get like another maybe 5 or 6 kilos of stuff in it in addition to the armor. So what do you want to take?
Have we loaded Pench up?
Yeah, Pench is carrying. Pench is struggling under the weight of Vernetta's multi-laser. Trantia's grabbed some stuff. Gnaeus has grabbed some stuff. Seraph's refusing to carry anything.
Yeah.
What a team player.
I am not your fucking.
Yeah, I'll say get the armor in there, and will photo visor and respirators be worth quite a bit? I think. I think
I think so.
Carapace is like it's a lightweight carapace, isn't it? So
Yep.
Yeah.
that'd be really useful just to have. You know what I mean? For security.
Yeah,
If he was in
just
like
good
a
stuff.
if he was in a sniper role and he wasn't really moving that much, it'd probably be more useful to have that than anything else. Because if he's being shot at, it's like you can only dodge one, can't he? So whereas armor's like forever. So.
Yeah, but the carapace, the thing about the carapace is it has a max agility limit.
Yeah.
So it's like if you're a really nimble character, it's probably not worth taking the full set. You can wear a couple of bits of carapace before it fucks you up.
Yeah.
So you can wear like a chest plate and a helmet. It's just if you start to wear more than half the set. So if you put the arms or the legs on, then you start suffering agility modifiers, which cripples your dodge, obviously.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want that. The extra armor.
Nobody wants that.
But anyway, we'll see how much we can sell it for.
The best thing you've got in sniper capacity is like to avoid being seen, never mind being hit.
Yeah,
like camo cloaks.
true,
You can get like various devices depending on what weapon you've got that obscures your shot, silences, all those sorts of things prevent people from being able to figure out where you are. And like camo cloaks give you extra concealment, and they give you a -20 ballistic skill against any shot against you. As long as you stay still. So you can basically set up as a sniper and just, rely on camouflage rather than armor. Because you don't have to dodge and you don't have to absorb shots if you're not getting hit, do you?
No.
So you're taking the armor. What else do you say you're taking? You've got another 5 or 6 kilos. You say the respirators or
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah, respirators are handy.
Yeah, and the photovisors, because.
Yeah, so you've only got 10
got a
kilos,
money,
so
aren't
so you've only got 5 kilos, so which is it? There's 6 kilos worth of respirators and about 4 kilos of photovisors, because you've taken a few.
Who can remember which ones, without asking you, Dave, but out of the party, who can remember which one's worth the most
It's
out of photovisors or respirators?
Vernetta can give me an intelligence roll for that with a plus 20, because it's a fairly simple thing. Anyone that's got evaluate can make evaluate if they want. Right, everyone's got evaluate. It's a basic skill, isn't it? So.
Yeah. I'll try and evaluate roll, probably. Hey.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I'll try. No.
Vernetta, intelligence.
What are you doing?
Roll?
You're doing some evaluate there.
Okay, give me an intelligence roll at plus 20 as well, Vernetta, please.
Intelligence.
Sorry, logic. So yeah, Gaius and Vernetta straight away. Vernetta, it's no surprise that you know which is the more expensive item. And Gaius, you've seen the bill that the 686 precinct gets regularly for new respirators. You know that respirators are worth about a quarter of the price of photovisors. But you also are aware, Vernetta, using a bit of logic, that you're going to a nightclub in gang territory to sell stuff. And so this is something you have to consider. In the Underhive, respirators are life-saving bits of equipment. Photovisors are still useful. You know, they apply some basic dark sight, and also they protect against flash grenades and things like that. So although ordinarily the visors are worth more than the respirators, they both could potentially down here in the hive be worth about the same.
Okay.
I'll put all that information on then.
So you just need to pick what you'd like to take.
Let's
Just take the respirators.
Let's just take half and half. And then we can't go wrong, can we?
Take a few of each if you want.
Yeah, just take half of each. And then we got them, haven't we?
You like?
Okay.
Someone will want a photovisor, but if respirators sell easy, do, don't they?
Fair enough.
Okay. So all the ammo you can take as well. You can take it for yourselves if you want it, or you can throw it in. I don't worry about the weights of ammo. So all you're leaving behind is most of the stub autos. I know Hannibal took a couple. Someone else has taken one. Gnaeus has taken one. Swords, the respirators and photovisors. Some of them have been taken. Some have been left. Other than that, you've pretty much got everything covered. And the way I see this happening is that probably the stronger ones of you, so like Hannibal, Gnaeus, Gaius, maybe even Siegfried, will take it in turns with the barrow, walking through the Underhive. I'm kind of playing a bit fast and loose with the encumbrance rules for this. But we'll make some rolls for anyone who wants to participate in moving the barrow. So who's gonna take their turn on the barrow?
Yeah, go on then.
So I've got Gnaeus is going to. I've got Siegfried. Anyone else?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah. Hannibal.
I will.
Gaius. Okay, so that's 4 of you. All right. I'm just going to go for a wee, and then we'll carry on, and we'll make some rolls occasionally for just people that are taking their turn on that barrow. Back in a sec. Right. Okay. I'll come back to that. All right. There we go. The map of Hive Decilium Primus. It's been a while since we used this. Down in the low reaches of Decilium Primus, where the dust of ages and the ruined statuary of the earliest settlements lay in near silence, there are things that lurk in the darkness. Mutants, skev gangs, wild beasts that have wandered in from the wastes and become trapped in the maze-like rubble of a long-dead past. It's a long way from the heart of the city, and it's sparsely populated here, and dangerous. Here and there are pockets of more civilized society. The Carnival of Catastrophe was one such place, but it's gone now. Places such as the Carnival are cut off from the bulk of the Underhive, in the Carnival's instance, by the vast lake of corrosive industrial runoff and the yawning chasm that bracket it. Besides the peril of the chasm and the strangeness that lurks within it, there is only one way in and out of the Carnival of Catastrophe, the ancient, rusting, clanking ascender platform that ponderously transports guests, patrons and visitors from the ground floor lower hive district of 187-12 Alpha to the depths where the Carnival stands. And it is on ascender platform designate Alpha 12-44 Gamma Epsilon that we find you all now, as the rusted grating slides aside to reveal District 187-12 Alpha, a large, shadowy, cavernous place of gigantic metal struts and chunks of discarded ferrocrete, the foundations of the modern hive. And there is little in the way of light down here, and you navigate by the light of Gnaeus' shoulder mount and the night vision goggles and other accessories and implants some of you carry. Trantia walks with a ball of blue-white psi flame in her left hand. It pulses at a steady, regular rhythm, which quickens when she exerts herself, clambering over obstacles and under fallen support struts. Her eyes, when you're close enough, and you catch them in the darkness, dance with flame. Seraph is like a ghost, moving from shadow to shadow. She leads the way. She's your pathfinder. She disappears for minutes on end, vanishing into the darkness behind or to the sides of you, only to emerge ahead of you somehow. Later, she knows this place, this city. She grew up here. She knows its dangers. She knows it can be dangerous, especially for anyone who gets in her way. She wears on her head a pair of the night vision goggles taken from the pressure point mercs. In the rare moments you glimpse her ranging ahead, scouting the way, you realise that this is her domain. This is what she was made for. A silent killer, stalking like a cat through the forgotten places of a dying city. Pench, too, wears the goggles. Some of that old nervousness seems to have slipped back into him. Pause for Johnny. He looks this way and that. Rapid, frantic, head turns, peering into the shadows. Up close, you can see Pench sweating. Though it's not particularly warm down here. His breathing is rapid, too. He seems constantly on the edge of panic, but he manages it. He maintains this balance of cool and permanent anxiety. Vernetta, struggling to see a little bit, relying on Trantia's flame and Gnaeus' lamp beam on his shoulder, but you can, if you'd like, use your auspex to navigate by scanning structures constantly as you walk, if you'd like, or you can slap some of the night vision goggles on. It's kind of up to you, Vernetta.
Say that was on in the eye already.
Say again.
The auspex.
All right.
Says the eye in the the auspex in the eyes.
Yeah, you've got your built-in auspex.
Yeah, that's what I use.
Okay. I'd like you. This is a navigation roll. It encompasses most of this journey. I'd like you to make a. Well, it's up to you really. You can either make a perception check with awareness check with the +20 for the auspex, or you can give me a tech use test on one of the modes of the auspex that you are scanning the majority of. This is
remind me of the modes.
You've got structures, life signs, bless you, structures, life signs, energy, radiation,
Yes.
gases.
Yeah, structure seems most useful here then, right? So.
Okay, so that's a tech use test, please.
Oh yeah, there we go.
All right. Okay, so you that doesn't mean you don't make the device work. It's you're scanning the structures, the layout. You're picking out patches of rubble and maybe paths through the rubble that you're trying to assist in navigating, following in the wake of Seraph, who is just being your scout basically. And you maybe a couple of times on this journey you're like, oh no, wait, we have to go back. This is a dead end. You realise you haven't done the best job, and you maybe slow down the whole party a little bit because of your slightly inefficient scanning. Gaius, your night vision goggles that you swiped from one of the dead bodies do very little to enhance your abilities because you have built-in dark sight, but they do make you look cool. You already see perfectly in the dark up to 20 meters, but everything is in shades of grey to you. If you put the night vision goggles on, it makes everything green instead. So which is it going to be, Gaius? Would you like to travel by green night vision or grayscale dark sight?
I'll have dark sight, I guess. I can have one on each.
No, they're goggles.
Okay. I'll just remember that I've been changed and I now have dark sight.
Okay, so you can still have the pair of night vision goggles, but when you picked your augments for your eyes, you picked dark sight, so you can see perfectly in the dark. But you can use these night vision goggles still. All it means is they both do kind of the same thing. They both let you see in the dark, but they both have different weaknesses. So night vision, for example, is particularly vulnerable to like photon flash and things like that. Dark sight isn't as much vulnerable as to photon flash, but it can be vulnerable to other things. You don't know what those are yet.
But you're about to find out.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I didn't say
I'm
that.
better off walking around with dark sight because the other people have got night goggles, so if something affects them, I'll have my eyes, and if something affects me, they'll still have their eyes. So
Good thinking. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're keeping the dark sight free. You've still got a pair of night vision goggles on you if you want to change your mind. Siegfried, you have a pair of. You didn't take any of the fancy gear because you have. Oh, you did. You took loads of the night vision goggles, but you already have infrared goggles.
Yeah.
They don't give you any benefit to navigating the darkness. They just let you see heat and remove darkness penalties in combat. But you also have photo contacts that you always wear. These give you some limited dark sight, similar to Gaius's. Maybe not quite as long range as Gaius's built-in eyes, but they do the same thing.
Yeah, I'll go with them.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Hannibal. Oh, hang on. What have I just written here? I've just made up a word. Just excuse me a moment. There we go. Hannibal. The same goes for you. You've got a photovisor, which I believe your photovisor is actually a pair of aviators.
It is.
So you can either walk in the dark wearing aviators, looking
I'm
cool.
going to be that cunt who wears sunglasses at night.
looking cool in your mind and looking like a prick to everyone else, wearing your sunglasses at night. You did also state that you took a pair of night vision goggles, so you could wear.
No, I didn't. I said I took a photo, guys.
Last session. Oh yeah, have I got that wrong?
Yes, you have.
Okay, doesn't matter. You're wearing your glasses.
Took a rifle, 2 auto pistols, a photo visor, and a suit of armour, and a Merc license, and a load of grenades.
Yeah, I got all that. I thought you'd got a night vision instead of the visor for some reason. Anyway, so it's pretty much the same. You're all seeing in dark sight. The NPCs are all wearing night vision. Okay. The oppressive weight of the hive bears down on you. And it doesn't seem to lessen as you weave your way through the ruins towards the crumbling, once grand staircase about a quarter of a kilometre from the elevator platform that you rose up on. This leads up to the next level of the sub-hive. And as you're moving through this darkness, you hear in your vox beats Seraph's voice. And she goes, "Contact! Neutralised!" Almost immediately afterwards. You barely have time to reach for your weapons before she announces this. And you move cautiously on, slowing your pace, taking cover, moving with the skills and training that you've all received. And you soon find evidence of Seraph's work. There is a body laying face down in the dusty ruins. And this person is pale, thin, dressed in crude rags and boots that are made of animal hide. Some sort of hive dreg, you imagine, lower hive dweller. By the side of the man's body is a wooden stick with 2 sump rat corpses tied to it by crude pieces of thread. They have been skinned. There's a rusty knife and a simple flintlock pistol tucked into the man's belt. His throat has been sliced. There's a second wound straight to his chest which pierces the heart, and blood is pooling out around him. He's still warm to the touch.
Step over it.
Okay.
I ain't got any room to pick it up.
Anyone doing anything?
The body. I don't know, but it'd be handy to try and get healed on the way down, wouldn't it, before getting him out of trouble.
That's a point. That's a point, actually. I did some first aid for all of you. I think I maybe altered your character sheets as well. Pench, while you were gathering the stuff, I rolled for Pench, healing everyone.
Yeah, I've got all my wounds back. So.
Yeah, Pench rolled really well for everyone. I think he healed pretty much. I think he healed everyone. I meant to mention that at the beginning of the session. Good point, Hayden. But yeah, you're healed as much as you can be, I believe, Hayden, without some proper work. Which Vernetta can do, but not out here. You need, proper tools, proper facility. So anyone want to do anything? You see this body that's obviously the work of Seraph.
Just ignore it.
Yeah.
The blind eye.
Try not to drive the wheels too much through the blood to leave a trail.
Okay.
I'm going to switch to infrared. That's all right.
Okay. You see the heat slowly leaving the corpse, Siegfried.
And smile.
Its life draining with each drip, drip, drip of blood. Over the next couple of hours, you follow in Seraph's wake. She whispers directions for you over the Vox, guiding you through the underhive into the lower hive, up rusting stairwells and ascension rises, through narrow tunnels and nerve-wracking, wide-open spaces with little cover. Stop. Cover. She says at one point. You scatter into the remains of an ancient, decaying building, moments before a convoy of half a dozen scrap wagons clatter past, belching noxious fume and black smoke. The Skev gangers' transports do not stop or slow as they pass you by, rattling off into the darkness of the underhive. You likely could have taken them. They are poorly armed, they don't have training, but it's a delay. It's a risk you do not need right now. Twice more during your ascent through the hive, you hear the same call. Contact. Neutralized. The first call leads you to the body of another hive dreg, this one wearing little more than patchwork rags, a crude axe in his hand. An IO stick smoulders by the headless corpse. Gnaeus spots the head. A few moments later, he plays the lamp beam across it. It's mounted on a nearby wall, a length of rebar jammed up through the severed throat and erupting from the right eye. Trantia moves over to the severed head, studies it for a moment, glances at the body laying in the darkness a few meters away, and then heads off into the darkness after Seraph. Anything anyone would like to do at this point?
Let's carry on pushing trolley.
Keep going.
Oh, more death. Carry on.
It was a serious threat. So.
Perfectly natural while being bound, Seraph.
Probably did him a favour.
Four hours of creeping around in the dark since you left the carnival, and you finally catch up with Seraph. So those of you that took a turn on the cart, which is Gnaeus, Siegfried, Hannibal and Gaius, I'd like you each to make a toughness test at plus 30, please.
Well, sorry, I'm in my kitchen. Wait, that test. Feeling it.
Oh, we're feeling the burn.
Yeah.
Amateurs.
It was at plus 20. Sorry, plus 30.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I've passed that.
Gaius just passes.
Not as young as I used to be.
Siegfried, yeah, you are getting on a bit, bless you.
I think my
you
gear's
are-
grinding a bit.
You are fatigued,
Thanks.
Siegfried.
Cheers, mate.
You all right? You're welcome. This is just the beginning. So you're at minus 10 to all your stats. Remember, stims can stave it off, but you can't really stay permanently stimmed. You don't have enough. So if a fight erupts, it might be worth popping a stim if you have one.
Yeah.
You also are aware that Dr. Pench does have some stims on him.
Pench, Dimry.
No, that's a waste. He refuses. Okay, so it's taken about 4 hours to reach this point. And as you reach this particular point, and you know, Siegfried, you may be on the last. It's your last leg with the barrow. You're like, oh, I can make it. I'm not going to show these young whippersnappers that I'm tired. And you finally catch up with Seraph. You're in the mid hive now, so I'm just going to give you an idea of where you are. I'm just going to move you a little bit on this thing. So you've spent much of the day, or the last 4 hours, sort of working your way through the hive, kind of like this, sort of moving up and across, and eventually you've got yourself to about here. There are signs of life here. You're on the edge of what resembles more of a hive city, but it's still a bit gloomy, bit horrible down here. You can see drum fires burning in the darkness on the corners of cracked and uncared for roadways. There are gantries high above that you can hear creaking and shifting in an unseen and unfelt breeze. There's a few figures across the road in the distance in the entrance to an alleyway, warming themselves by a crude Prometheum heater. And Seraph sits on a low wall by a sturdy bulkhead door that's set into another wall about 10 feet away. This wall that the door's set into is curved ever so slightly. And she's eating something. Trantia's borrowed power rapier and the cutlass lay on the wall beside her. There's a darkly stained rag next to her weapons. On the other side of her, there is an insulated flask and a small tin box with a hinged lid. She pops the last morsel of whatever she was eating into her mouth as you round the corner and approach her. And she looks at you all and says, "Safest way up." And she points behind her to this bulkhead door in the wall. She chews on whatever she's eating. She opens this flask, sniffs at the contents, and she pours the contents of the flask into the lid of the flask, which makes a cup. You see steam billowing out from it. And she says to you, "From here on, you got less gangs, more sanctuaries, more picked feeds, which I'm guessing you want to stay away from. You all want to be below the Auspex, I would assume, what with his lordship being hunted." Points at you, Siegfried, as she says that. And she says, "And besides, you lot look like a fucking Munitorum delivery detail." And she gestures at the barrow full of armour and the assorted weapons you're all carrying on your person. She gestures again to the bulkhead door behind her. She says, "That door heads to a stairwell. It'll take you all the way to the top of the main hive if you want to go that far. But it's sealed every 10 floors, guarded, watched. But this here, this is a dead spot, no feeds. We go up 8 floors, short walk to the workers' district. But I warn you now, you go in there marching around looking like a small army, you're going to attract a lot of attention." She sips the steaming hot liquid, makes a face of disgust, throws it away, puts the cup down on the wall and hops down. She takes up her weapons, twirls them, slides them into the scabbards on her hips, and then she heads over to the bulkhead. Everyone make an awareness check, please. It's dark, so it's -30 if you have no light source or night vision source or anything like that. If you do have any sort of light source or filters, which I think is all of you now, it's just a -10 awareness check, please. Okay, so Siegfried with the pass. 1.7 degrees pass. Excuse me. Oh, and it's sight-based as well, actually.
Yeah.
And you have heightened senses, don't you, Siegfried?
I think so.
So yeah, you do. I'm sure you do. So if that changes anything, it doesn't change anything for the rest of you, does it? Okay. So Siegfried, as she heads over to this bulkhead door and this slightly curved wall, you notice that she's carrying a bag, Siegfried, that you don't remember her carrying when you set off. It looks like just a crude bag of a hide or like coarse fabric that is tied on a rope that's looped diagonally around the torso, shoulder to hip. It's about the size of a melon. And it's damp, it seems. and you notice something dark and wet dripping from the bag onto the floor.
Coffee. Recaf.
Probably.
I think it's going to be a 7 head. Some description.
Okay, so at this point, everyone, there's a bit of a pause here. If there's anything anyone wants to do or say, now would be a good time.
Let's have a rest.
You can rest if you want.
Up for a long rest. So shall we plan what we're going to do when we get ahead to like Ludmilla? Are we going to split up or something so we're not going as one big, heavily tooled up mob? Will that function?
Yeah, that sounds right. And have we got any covers or sheets we can put over this car? Build a bit of track or something.
You have not come out equipped with bed sheets.
Ah, come on. Nobody will be hanging bed sheets up to dry, will there, in the underhide?
No gingham picnic blankets or anything.
Unfortunately not, no. Not this low down in the hive.
Just laid there next to one of those burning barrels. All right, you know.
One of the major bodies that's been left by Seraph.
So yeah, Gaius does make a good point. In fact, a couple of you make good points. That when you, at the moment, there's very few people around, and you're in the very low parts of the city. The dregs of society live here. The workers' district tends to be populated quite heavily with mid-hivers, lower mid-hivers mostly, and low-hivers. You know that it's gang territory. You also know there are parts of it that are neglected, run down. You also know, Vernetta definitely knows that there is some sanctuary presence down there. There is presence of the lawmen, although not as much as you get further up hive. So walking through this part of the city with a lot of fucking weapons on show and a wheelbarrow full of armor, bloody armor in some cases, is going to draw some attention. So you need to think about what you want to do here.
Get disguises.
That is another option, yeah. I'm just trying to think who's been there before. Everyone's been there before. I'd like all of you, please, to make an intelligence test, straight intelligence test.
Would we book a hive taxi?
There are such things, but not this far down. Vehicles are a real rarity this far down.
Give me a taxi.
You can't get Uber.
Yeah,
Where's it
Uber
gone?
deliveries, please. Like terrorist supplies on wheels.
Yeah, can I get? Imagine if there was Uber machine guns. You could just
Yeah.
order machine guns online.
Probably can in America.
Yeah.
Got a bag of sweets and a magazine for your gun. Or Beretta.
Dave, can I try to summon Alyssa again and for a bit of
Sure.
like a logic test, see if there's anything that'll help for moving forward through this section. So it's like willpower to start, I think.
Yep. Oof.
No, let's take insanity, I think, is for that.
Yep. Alyssa does not want to play.
Rather than trying to take this barrel full of weapons to somebody who's going to buy it, potentially, why don't we split and try and bring the person that's going to buy it to this massive barrel full of weapons?
Save the paper.
Some
Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, as in not to try and drag it through the place and but eventually it's going to have to go through anyway. It's not like we're going to have to make the delivery to that place, right? So
It depends. You might find a buyer who has got ties to this area and can ship it easily. It's his issue then, not ours.
Okay, so on that note, yeah, Vernetta, while you're all discussing your plan, there is a moment where Vernetta just seems to fucking phase out. And she seems to be staring into the middle distance, twitching slightly. She's gone for about a minute of your planning. And Vernetta, you feel during this minute this overwhelming presence of Alyssa, and she's trying to take over. She's trying to harness your motor control, but she can fortunately only access those parts of you that are cybernetic, and you're not entirely cybernetic yet. So she doesn't win, but the trauma of this experience is something, and you take an insanity point.
Yeah, no worries. I say it's very easy for me to roleplay this as well, Dave.
Yeah.
You know, staring off into middle distance, you know,
Yeah.
twitching. Yeah,
It just comes natural to you.
yeah, it's quite easy to do.
Okay, so Hannibal makes a point about bringing people to the weapons rather than taking the weapons to people, and you remember something of the layout of this place, Hannibal, from when you came here before. You were brought here by, I think Seraph brought you here to meet with the king, and he's kind of pointed you in the direction of the Golden Dawn, this other gang that have an arena that might have links to the Beast House. And you remember that the Workers' House district itself is very busy. The core of it, you know, there's lots of clubs, nightclubs, brothels, gambling halls, food halls, all that sort of thing. But the outskirts of it are quite sparsely populated and dark and gloomy. Almost like a no man's land between the rest of the city and the Workers' House. It's as though the population shuns the Workers' House but secretly loves it. And you are aware that there's this band of area around the Workers' House that there is very little signs of life, very little electricity, lighting. It'd be a perfect place for a clandestine arms trade.
Very good.
That's your answer.
There we go.
These only
So-
buildings but were deserted.
So we'll need,
Probably-
we'll need some people to stay with the weaponry, and then some, a group to go and speak, negotiate,
Seems like
Do
a
we
good
have
idea.
hive?
make
Yeah,
an
or
arrangement.
do we have a
Do you have a what? Sorry, Hayden.
Do we have a hive pages, different vox frequencies we can contact?
No, unfortunately not.
5 pages.
Basically,
Yeah.
you can contact. You can generally contact people or organisations that you are familiar with via the
Yeah.
Vox.
Yeah, obviously
so-
it's like radio waves, isn't it?
Yeah, so and
yeah,
like
stuff
I don't think you swapped frequencies with King Sanchez, but there are certain people in the Hive who you have spoken with in the past that you've swapped frequencies with, and it's like sending each other your fucking number, you know, your mobile number, and you can contact them again, providing there is a direct connection between different Vox equipment. You have all met King Sanchez, but I don't think you ever swapped Vox codes with him.
Yeah.
The ideal situation here,
Maybe
of
it's
course.
like I could tune into 555 Sanchez.
I mean, you could try that. Yeah, you could try. You could try 818. You could try them all. The ideal situation here would be if Canny was in the basement of Ludmilla's den right now, but unfortunately, he's somewhere else. But yeah, the ideas you've had so far are pretty good. One party with the weapons, maybe one going off to the club. I'm not the sort of GM to dictate how you split the party. I'm not a big fan of splitting the party, but I would probably suggest if you were going to split the party, maybe the players could do one thing and the NPCs could do the other.
Yeah.
Let's guard the weapons.
What's that NPC?
I mean, you could do whatever you
We've
want.
got a very, got a very difficult mission for you, Pench.
It's entirely up to you. It's your planning phase.
No,
I'm just
yeah.
throwing in some ideas,
I mean,
a
I
little
think
bit meta-y ideas there. But
That's clearly.
Seraph is the one who's been born and raised here and will know who to sell it to.
okay, so Seraph
Yeah,
knows. Seraph knows the Underhive. She's not as clued up in this area as the rest of the city, but
we have both been before, right?
that's something to
Everyone
remember.
else,
You've all been here before. You've all been to Ludmilla's den for different reasons. Seraph somehow knows King Sanchez. You're not really sure how she does. Hannibal's met him because he helped him out with the Beast House stuff. Gaius and Siegfried did a mission for him with Canny, and Vernetta. don't know if you've met King Sanchez, but you've definitely been to Ludmilla's den and got off
Yeah,
your
I-
fucking metallic tits.
I seem to recall that there was like a high-end arms dealer there as well.
There was a
Yeah.
guy that was trying to sell you weapons there before, yeah.
Yeah, high-end arms dealer, like just located on that same street.
Yeah,
as it were.
he basically took you down the road and showed you some stuff, didn't he? So
Yeah.
it's entirely up to you how you want to do this. I can deal with whatever you want to do. My thinking is if you keep the party together, it means people are not sat doing nothing for longer. That's the reason I suggest it.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's do that then. We'll make our way up 5 with the non-NPCs.
Okay, so you're going to split PCs and NPCs, are you?
Yeah.
Well,
let's do
I
it.
think Seraph has to come with us, doesn't
Okay.
she? Or-
Yeah.
Okay, so Trantia, Gnaeus, and Pench are going to stay with the gear while you lot go and deal with King Sanchez. Is that the plan?
Yeah, should they go and like hide in a house or something?
Yeah, there's plenty. There's plenty of like derelict buildings, warehouses, things like that. There's plenty of places, so you can pick one when you're up there. But if that, just so I know what the plan is, if that's what the plan is.
Yeah.
If there's anything else you want to discuss or deal with, please do so before we move on.
Yep. So I will leave a fair few more guns there then, so I'm not walking around carrying loads of shit.
Yeah, we'll worry about that, about what you're actually carrying when you get up there, because there's a bit more to do yet first.
Oh, mind you, I might want to see some weapons.
Yeah, so don't worry about what you're carrying just now. We'll deal with that in a minute. But is there anything you'd like to do or say before you proceed on this little trip?
Tell those who are staying to message us every 10 minutes just to make sure everything's okay.
Ooh, okay.
My number is 555 Gaius.
If you forget that, just look on the closest toilet wall.
it's just on the slab's name.
Somewhere on Desolium there is just this filthy toilet that has just got all your characters' names and all their Vox frequencies.
Different size holes.
It's just a glory hole of various sizes in a cubicle.
Yeah, slab just writ one number on the wall.
Slab just says one because that's as far as he ever got. Right. Yeah, I'm just going to go for a wee, and then we will head further up high. Back in a sec.
It's been called to the toilet.
The golden throne.
Yeah. Imagine it as well. There probably will be some filthy toilet. Quality, isn't it? You can see it.
I'm wiped out today, lads.
I bet you are.
Yeah,
Was it good shindig
you-
afterwards,
you-
yeah?
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
it was
really
good.
enjoyed it. If you
Did you
notice,
do
I'm
any,
actually playing in my
did you do any
house.
battling at all, or was it just chilling?
I had a little play with Kia.
Yeah.
in the dark.
Okay. In the dark.
Okay.
I wanted to go stuff. I thought I'll go.
Yeah, man. Is he good?
It's fast, yeah.
Yeah.
I was getting a few more shots on him, like, and I was using my mace, but
Yeah.
it's quite fast. Just keep sparring or you'll get awesome in no time.
Yeah.
So, be overtaking me with his youth.
Yes, that's it. We're the old men now. Hey.
Right. Seraph strides over to this bulkhead door in this slightly curved wall. And there's a control panel at the side of the door, and she flips this open. Inside, there is a softly glowing screen and a few buttons and a small cavity, maybe an inch high, 2 or 3 inches wide. And she places something into the cavity, and all of you see what this is. And you pause for Johnny, and you recognise it. I wasn't going to say it, but Johnny started laughing before I fucking finished. And you all recognise this device that she places into the slot.
It's like Chinese war torture. I'm just like, it's like the relentlessness of it. The minute it's starting to wear him down. I think. Silver save.
I'm breaking him. That's what I'm doing. I'm breaking him in like a fucking wild stallion. It's you see, you see this device that Seraph inserts into the slot.
By Dave, probably.
It's this small disc about 2 or 3 inches wide that's shaped a bit like a cog with the symbol of Hive Decilium on it. You all recognise this by now. This is an oath cog. This is the device by which all members of Hive Decilium's society are identified, from the lowest dregs to the highest born. Every single person has an oath cog, or you have nothing. And the oath cog tells you who you are and who you serve. And Seraph has one of these, and she inserts it into this control panel. There's a series of whirring clicks, and then a pneumatic hiss, and the bulkhead door judders open. Seraph pockets the device, beckons you to follow, and she says, "Come on, quickly now." And then she's gone into the dark stairwell, heading up into the shadows, leaving behind nothing but the faintest smell of iron. Are you following Seraph?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
Up and up and up around this large cylindrical stairwell you go. There is this gently curving wall to your right-hand side. The stairs head up and curve to the left, and there is like a core to this stairwell as well, like a 3-meter wide cylinder that you seem to be going round and round as you head up. Up and up. The 8 floors she leads you. Each floor, I'll start that sentence again. Each floor of the 8 is higher than a standard building's floor. They are 2 to 3 times the height of an average story of a building. And over the 8 floors, you ascend maybe 150 meters in this darkened, rusting series of featureless staircases that spiral around and around this central column of ferrocrete. I'd like everyone to make another toughness test, please, at plus 30.
Is this for leg day?
Sorry?
Is this for leg day?
This is leg day, yeah. Don't skip leg day, mate.
Upstairs.
Pench, Seraph, Trantia. Where's Gnaeus? Gnaeus.
Oh, I'm stilling myself. Fuck this shit.
Gnaeus is with the guns.
Everyone's coming up. This is still going upstairs at the minute.
Right.
You're not up there yet. I just wanted to know what you were going to do before you got there, just to make it a bit easier. So, okay. Let me.
Stilling myself. Fuck this shit.
Ooh. So one of these will be. Oh yeah, Siegfried, you had a level of fatigue, didn't you? So.
I did, yeah.
But you got another one now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yes,
have.
sir.
So let me just figure out where we are. So, so that's the NPCs are all fine. Who's got the toughness of 38? Why is it not? That's Gnaeus. Gnaeus is going to fate point that. No, he's not. Yeah, he is. Okay, so Gnaeus is fatigued. None of the other NPCs are. Siegfried also. So you are now 2 levels of fatigue. You're still only on minus. You're still only on -10. It doesn't get any worse.
Yeah.
But if you take more levels of fatigue than your toughness bonus, you collapse.
Right. Okay.
You're getting old, Siegfried. You've been running around the hive all day. There's no wonder you're starting to tire a little.
And
okay.
All the rejuvenate treatment in the world can't conceal age.
That's true. That's true. It's only superficial, but there are ways of circumventing it. But it's more to do with organ replacement. I'd also like everyone to make an awareness test at -20. It's not based on anything, so it's just -20. But Siegfried, yours will obviously be -30.
Yes.
Oof. So close.
Can't see a thing.
I mean, it's not that you can't see a thing. It's just
And then
you
he
don't.
moves his hair out of his eyes. Oh.
It's nothing particularly untoward. Don't worry about that dice roll, any of you. It's nothing massive.
Oh.
Eventually, Seraph leading the way a few meters ahead of you, who, by the way, she seems to be running up here with no effort whatsoever. Hi, Charlie! Charlie! All right,
Hey.
all right, you big floppy-eared cunt. Look at him, and his big, stupid floppy ear. Anyway, eventually, Seraph reaches a pair of bulkheads up this tower. One bars your path to ascending any further. You imagine it blocks off the next flight of stairs, but the other is set into the outer wall of the curved stairwell. And there's a control panel by this particular door. And again, Seraph goes over, flips open the control panel, slides in the oath cog, and the door does its thing. And as soon as she does, and the door cracks open, the sounds and smells, faint sounds and smells of the workers' house district begin to drift to you through the gap in the door. And Seraph steps out of the stairwell, and immediately she lunges to one side as the crackling arc of a stun maul is thrust towards her face. And she blocks the blow with a forearm, keeping the head of the weapon at bay. She thrusts out with her other hand, palm extended, and she drops to one knee as she does this, avoiding a second blow that comes from behind her, from behind the door. And she strikes the first assailant in the sternum, knocking him to the ground. And you hear this gasp of someone as they stumble backwards. The second attacker steps from behind the door, goes to swing again, and you see him now. He's a sanctuary bondsman of the Oath Involute, a lawman, dressed in distinct red and black armour, but Seraph is still in motion. And she spins, turning her dropped palm strike into a reversed leg sweep, which floors this second man. And he collapses to the floor in a clatter of armour plates, dropping the shock maul. Seraph catches it before it hits the ground, rolls forward, straddling the prone man, and jams the sparking end of the weapon directly into the man's open mouth, frying his brain. And then she's up, back arching as she cartwheels backwards towards the first attacker again. Drawing her power rapier, she spikes him to the left eye and then flips over his form as it begins to fall. The whole thing takes only a couple of seconds from beginning to end, and the speed and ferocity of Seraph is unlike anything you've seen from her before. And then a third sanctuary breaks cover, bursting from behind a stanchion, and begins to sprint deeper into the workers' district.
I say, Seraph, wasn't that a little bit out of order?
And he runs.
Are we able to act to him running, Pigs?
Do whatever you want.
And quick draw my rifle and kneecap him.
Okay. Make a ballistic skill test then. So you've got quick draw, haven't you?
Yeah. Hang on, I'm going to have to get rid of the dog. I can't see my character sheet. There we go.
So while Hannibal's drawing his rifle, he's probably... What's the range on your rifle? It's long, isn't it? It's a big range. He's probably still in short range.
I don't actually have that rifle on my sheet. It's one of the ones I stole from PowerPoint.
Oh, it's the Pax Factorum, isn't it?
Yeah, my proper rifles are in Slab's bag.
Yes, you don't know that. Shh. The Pax Factorum is 150 meters, so he's still within 75 meters, still short range. So, as this is happening, as Hannibal draws his rifle, and make a shot at your own leisure, Dave. He can't dodge, he's running away, he doesn't know you're shooting at him. Siegfried, you turn to Seraph, you say, what did you say? Was that necessary or something?
Yeah, was that entirely necessary, Seraph?
She turns on you and she's up in your face. She's the rapier dripping blood, and you can see the mask that she always wears, this half mask, is slipping. It's not quite where it normally is, and you can see the edges of the 8-pointed brand on her face. And she says, witnesses, Lord Von Morton, none of them. Yeah? That's your fucking catchphrase, ain't it?
He's gonna mirror her face with his face. Like...
Oh, are you morphologicking Seraph's face back at her? Okay, you have to make a willpower test with +20 to change your face.
Okay.
But I'm at minus that because
yeah, -10, so just +10 altogether.
Fatigue. What is it? What test?
Willpower, please.
Willpower.
+10
Yeah.
in total. And that's a hit, Dave. Roll damage. You've got accurate as well, haven't you?
I was just checking. Yes, it is accurate.
Yeah. Doesn't have a scope, this, but it's still an accurate weapon.
10 plus 3. And I've got a thing, so it's D10 plus 2.
Siegfried, you try and change the mask to Seraph's face, but you fail. I'd like you to add to your character sheet, please, 3 insanity points. As the mask rebels against your attempt to tell it what to do.
Have you realised I haven't got that many, or have I got lots of
Oh, you've got loads.
I don't mind that.
Right, so what have you got here, Hannibal? That
was a leg shot. I was basically kneecapping him so he can't run.
Yep. Yeah, you did a cold shot, didn't you?
Oh, fucking hell. I'm on 26 now.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Worry about it when you get to 30. So what we got damage-wise, 10 plus 8.
10-2, I think, the rifle.
Yeah. That'd be 18 total, so 15 minus his toughness. Yeah, you shoot him in the leg, and there is this loud crack from this unsilenced rifle, and the body of the running sanctuary goes one way, and his leg sort of flips off and goes the other way. You realise you've taken his leg off at the thigh, and the body slumps into a handrail and then collapses to the floor. And you realise, yeah, you might have been trying to just wing him, but fucking hell, this rifle's a bit more powerful than what you expected. He's dead. Where are we? Seraph turns on you, Hannibal, and snarls. Like a beast, she says, "That was my fucking kill." Pench suddenly appears between Hannibal and Seraph, like literally like he's only a little man. He sort of slides in and puts his hand on the chest of both, goes, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa. Easy, Seraph. We're all buddies here, aren't we? Hey?" Trantia advances on Seraph as well and says, "The fuck are you doing? These are sanctuaries, officers of the law." And she turns to you, Hannibal, and says the same. She's addressing both of you. Seraph turns on Trantia and says, "They're witnesses, and right now you're sneaking into the most densely populated wreck zone in the hive, armed to the teeth, carrying a load of fucking bloody armour and weapons taken from licensed military contractors. What happens if these fuckers see us? You think they're just going to wave us on, smile politely, ignore what they see?" Trantia bristles, stands up straighter than usual and says, "We are agents of the Golden Throne." Seraph cuts her off and says, "We ain't fuck all, love. Anyone got a rosette on them? Anyone got anything that marks them as Inquisition? No?"
Siegfried just gets his like Inquisition tag out and just like spins it around a little bit.
You haven't got one.
Have I not got one?
No, you haven't got it. You left it in the mansion. You came out in your fucking Sunday best, mate.
What?
Seraph says, "And even if we had such things, remember who we worked for? An Inquisitor that was declared and denunciated? Abandoned as, and he's most likely dead. We tangle with the sanctuaries, we either kill him, or we die, or we get locked up. We get locked up, and then we're in the fucking system. Gnaeus steps forward. He's dragged one of the bodies up to his shoulder, and he says, "She's right. Gay Batman's here." He says, "She's right. Pressure point have access to law enforcement agency data stacks."
I just imagine him dragging one up by his crotch.
He's just got it by the cock and balls. It's like, "Pressure point have access to law enforcement agency data stacks if you're in their records." Trantia speaks up again and says, "We can't just go around murdering officers of the law for many reasons. It attracts attention, for one thing." Pench butts in again, putting himself between Seraph and Trantia, who were getting a bit argy with each other. He says, whoa, ladies, you both got a point, so is the big guy, but standing there arguing about it doing no favours to any of us. We need to do something with these bodies. We need to do what we came here for and get the fuck out of here before these coppers are missed."
Chuck him down the stairs.
Okay. Gnaeus nods and says, "Agreed. The more we linger here, the more we risk discovery."
Done.
Before we chuck it down the stairs, can we take the combeads out the rear?
You can. Okay, so I'm just gonna start a new page. Before we decide what you're gonna do about these bodies that Seraph and Hannibal have left, I'm gonna need Gaius. Can you make a common law Arbites test, please?
Yeah, because if we can keep them their frequency, we might know what they're doing and where they are.
Okay. Right. Gaius, I'd also like you to make a logic roll. Vernetta, you can make one as well.
I'm going to fake point that common law Arbite.
Okay.
Yeah. Seems it's the first common law Arbite roll I've had to do again. Might as well be useful. Yeah,
there you go, and it was useful. Make me a logic.
It's a wrong night for logic.
make me a logic test as well, please, Gaius. Yeah. All that XP you spent on all those skills all that time ago, Gaius, is finally paying off.
I've got so many skills.
Okay, so as an arbiter, you have a little working knowledge of the Decilian Sanctuary's working practices as well. They are lawmen, but they deal with Decilian law, whereas you deal with Imperial law. But you know a bit about how they work. You've probably worked alongside the Sanctuaries at some point over the last month or two on your various missions that you've done. You know some stuff about them. You know that they work in squads of 10, and they are often broken down into smaller teams or pairs, similar to the Arbiters. Seraph and Hannibal between them have just killed 3. It's likely that there are at least another 7 sanctuaries down here somewhere in this district. You also notice that none of these guys has... none of them looks like an officer. Squad leaders tend to be better armed and wear insignia on their shoulders that mark their rank. None of these guys have that. Also, when a team is split up, they tend to have regular comm checks. Like you said earlier, let's check in every 10 minutes on the Vox. This is a thing that the Arbiters do. This is a thing that the Sanctuaries do. It's a thing that military people do. The intervals between those comm checks generally depend on the state of alert. A team on patrol or guard duty might check in once every hour. A team hunting a dangerous criminal might check in every few minutes. So sooner or later, these guys are going to be missed. But you don't know how long it's going to be before that is. You don't know when their next comm check-in is. But that being said, you also said you were going to take a combead.
Yeah, to be fair, knowing that, I might take a combat beat from each body, so when they do the check, I might just go, "Yep, we're following through, you're checking in."
Okay.
Yeah, I'll say.
And just do a bit of interference.
Well, I don't know what voice it's done, but I could have mimicked.
Yeah, you did. Mimic is a cool idea, Hayden, but mimic, you need to hear someone for like an hour before you can mimic them.
Yeah.
Also,
not one death throw from the my appetite.
So
there we go. That's the voice.
That's what you. That's what you know from your common law roll. In addition, your logic roll, Hayden, tells you something. 3 sanctuaries, standing in a darkened corner of the fringes of the workers' house. No Auspex gear. They weren't searching for anything. Guard duty, you suspect. They were guarding this door. But with
Hey,
your
lads.
extra degree of success, they hit Seraph the moment she came through the door. They struck her as she exited the bulkhead. Maybe they knew someone was coming. They certainly were not caught by surprise by her appearance.
Okay.
It's maybe something to do with
Right.
the cock she's used.
I'll relay this information back to the group.
And
Okay.
I'll say it's maybe something to do with the cog she's using.
Maybe.
Whose cog is that, Seraph?
Took it from the guy downstairs.
I think we should maybe grab a sanctuary's cog as well. All right.
And that you may have been a wanted man.
No, he was one of them.
All right.
We would say the cog actually.
Then why?
Guilty evidence on this. Kick up.
Okay, so just to clarify something, just give me a moment, actually. I need to do a thing. At the moment, you have 2 bodies right near this bulkhead door. There is a third body about 20-25 meters away. The shot from Hannibal was quite loud. There is also a lot of noise coming from the workers' district. These bodies are here. You suspect that Seraph was either expected or heard coming or something. You know, she didn't get the drop on these guys. They heard her coming. You've already specified you're going to split the party and send half with the weapons into a nearby building, and the other half are going to go to Ludmilla's den.
Yeah.
So, with all those things in mind, try not to talk it over each other. Try to be concise about what you want to do. What's happening, guys?
Put the bodies down the stairs and proceed on.
So, are we going to say earlier on, I said, are we going to split up for this last little section so that we're not going in too heavy-handed and
Yeah.
try and go into the club in a more
Yeah.
casual fashion, like we belong there, rather than as a, like something that attracts attention. So think about maybe splitting the squad of 5 into 2.
Yeah.
So I'd like to put Vernetta with Seraph.
Yeah, I mean, we've already established that that's what you're going to do, but I'm more bothered about what you're doing right now, in this moment. You stood outside this door, 2 bodies, another body of a dead sanctuary over yonder. What are you doing right now?
No, so
rid
I
of the
thought we
bodies.
could get we want to get rid of the bodies first. We can put Gnaeus on that though. I mean, we don't need to do it ourselves as a player character. I don't think. I mean, he's
No,
perfectly
I just want to
capable.
know what you're doing with the
Yeah.
bodies.
Yeah, cool.
Downstairs.
I thought you said you were going to chuck him downstairs. Was that not agreed on earlier?
Downstairs.
Is there any
Might need to
bins
be a bit
or
more subtle.
We do want
chucking them
to-
down the stairs.
I'll say, what else have you got to see? You're
an awareness test? See if we can see anywhere to stash these bodies.
just like stick them in a warehouse or something.
Yeah, just drag them off and hide them for a little bit.
Yeah.
Give me an awareness test if you want. If you're looking around, see where you could maybe put these bodies.
Yeah.
I'll do a scan structures, Dave, please.
Okay.
I already got a +10, but like, it's still not good enough.
Well, the time if they chuck them down the stairs, by the time by the time they get discovered, if the sanctuary at the bottom of the stairs is dead and the sanctuary at the top of the stairs is dead, you know what I mean? If they need some sort of cog to open it and stuff as well, it's only going to be somebody with a cog
Yeah.
to open it. It's going to notice it, and we don't know how long that's going to take for them to sort of come and investigate. So I don't know.
Yes, I thought we'd already
Yeah.
agreed on that, and then you
Yeah.
know, so I don't think there's any really need to change it too much. I don't know, like, so you don't know how long it's going to take for them to.
Exactly. But like, the longer we wait, the more likely we're going to find out. So
The Auspex scan, Vernetta, reveals a lot of structures nearby and around you, a lot of buildings, a lot of dark corners, places like that. You think there's maybe somewhere you could hide a body nearby?
Yeah. So if
Or
you want to
chuck 'em
stash
down
one
the
here, we
stairs?
can.
Stairs.
What's it say? What is at the bottom of these stairs, Dave? Do you say?
There is 8 flights, and by flights, each flight is between 3 and 5 times a normal flight of stairs. They spiral round and round and round and down to the doorway that you came in when you started climbing the stairs.
Yeah.
I-
And we
I've
left
got a
bodies
hole in the
downstairs.
middle there.
Yeah.
There's no hole in the middle. There is a ferroconcrete pillar, a circular
So,
ferroconcrete pillar all the way to the middle of the stairs.
But now we'll speak up.
Yeah.
Now we'll speak up. There's, I think that will draw too much attention. There's a place over here, just out the way. We'll just stash them over here in this
Are there any
warehouse.
sort of access panels or grates or anything in floors or walls, pigs that might have services behind them, or sewer type things or anything like that? You can chuck them down.
There's a few bits and pieces around, yeah, that sort of stuff. Give me an awareness test, please, Hannibal. Yeah, you do see there's various grates, maybe panels you could remove and put the bodies behind. That's the second option. So you've got 3 options at the minute: stairs, hide behind a panel, or put them in one of these many buildings that are scattered around.
Don't stick them all together, split them up, and don't just chuck them downstairs.
Well, I think, I don't know, keeping the bodies together is fine. Yeah, I would say we'll just stash them nearby, Dave, I think, rather than... That's what Vernetta wants to do. She'll go, what is it with men and throwing bodies downstairs? There's a better place, it's just here.
Vernetta does have operational command.
Why does it not mean Siegfried sharing?
No, Siegfried was never
Thought
given
we were on the
command.
same.
It was.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, so it's Gaius. Gaius has operational command. Gaius has operational
We
command in the
don't
field. Vernetta
We'll
has
just
it in the
say
mansion.
Yeah,
There you
we'll
go. Okay.
Oh well, then
We're in the
stick
field.
them in that building. What Vanessa says.
Okay. So you hide the bodies in a building. It's a little bit away. It's maybe 100 meters away. It's not like right near the bodies, but you manage to drag these bodies and chuck them in, and the rest of the guys are there with the fucking cart full of weapons and armor. And you're still going to split the party. So it's going to just to clarify, it's going to be Pench, Gnaeus, and Trantia with the weapons, and the rest of you going to the club. Yeah.
That's correct.
Okay. I'll just make a note of that.
Gay Batman left behind.
You call him gay Batman now, but he's a fucking badass, you know. He's
I know. I'm only just abusing myself.
It was all because I spoke with the Batman voice and then had sex with Hayden.
These things, it's a natural progression.
And then he was just gay Batman after that.
When you say you had sex with Hayden,
Yeah?
do you mean you?
I mean, I'm just going to let you imagine whatever you want to imagine in that
I'm not
scenario.
imagining your hairy ass pants up and down on anything, mate.
I mean, I like the fact that you've clearly determined that I'm the bottom and Hayden's the top. You know.
He's bigger than you.
Were we going to fall out earlier? Hey, you gonna looking for some trouble?
Yeah, she wasn't invited, was she?
She's upset that she didn't get to watch. Anyway, right. So that's that bit done. Let me just do that. So yeah, you quickly find this this darkened building. It's one of the less rundown buildings. It's still in a bit of a shitty state, but you know it's structurally quite sound and secure. And at this point, I'm going to go around each of you and ask you a very, very simple question. I'm going to start with you, Hannibal. So, I'm not interested in what you're wearing, what you're carrying, with the exception of weapons. Tell me what weapons you're carrying. The rest, anything else, can be assumed to be with Gnaeus and the others. What weapons are you carrying, Hannibal?
The rifle, 2 auto pistols, and a missile.
Okay, so just before Dave, what are like the? Because we're gonna get scanned as we go in, right? You get to check for weapons if we're going in via the
You all know.
magazines,
You all
right?
know that you check for weapons. Weapons aren't generally allowed in the club. You do know that, yeah. But there's nothing wrong with. You know that you can give weapons in and get them when you get back.
Cool. Okay.
Okay, so that's Hannibal. We've just lost Hayden. Johnny, what weapons are you taking with you?
Just a sniper rifle.
Let me just tell you what you're carrying, because you're carrying all sorts.
Take a
So
pistol as well.
you've currently got your power sword, the Eldar chainsword, the collapsible sniper rifle, a hell pistol. Yeah, that's what you're carrying.
Okay, I'll put the hell pistol, collapsible sniper rifle, which I'll dismantle.
Yep.
And put in my coat pocket, long coat, and then I'll take the Eldar chainsaw. Because nobody'd have a clue what it was.
Just to point some out, you don't have a talent for... or do you have a talent for chain weapons?
Maybe not.
You don't. You do have one for power weapons, but not chain.
Yeah, I'll take the power. I've got a power weapon. Yeah,
Yeah, you've got a power sword.
I'll take the power sword then.
So you had 2 power swords. Gaius has got 1. You've got the other. Vernetta.
So, like going to a place like this, well, I'd like to take the plasma pistol and the. I say, what about wearing the carapace as well? Does that look too suspicious going to a place like this or not?
It's
all right?
It's
Yeah.
jet black,
What is that?
jet
That's-
black, unmarked,
Uh-huh.
light carapace armor. So it doesn't have anything that marks you as a thing, but it does mark you as wearing armor. It's quite obvious that you're wearing body armor in a mid-high.
I'm absolutely fine with that though. So.
If there was
Yeah, yeah.
any off-duty PowerPoint guys around, they'd probably be.
Yeah, so I'm not against it.
So
Probably-
you've been here
That's
before.
where
You
the
know
carapace
that
and plasma pistol.
you've been here before. You know that there are people come here quite well armed that have armor. Most people don't have weapons and armor, but you do know there are people that frequent this place wearing weapons and armor.
No,
Oh,
no
so I'll
will come
go-
down here, don't they?
Go for plasma pistol,
And the
pistol,
nobility come
death
down here.
light, and hello.
Hello again, Hayden. Plasma pistol and what? Sorry, Alan, you broke up there.
Death light and the carapace I'll wear.
Okay. Gaius, what's Gaius taking? What weapons? That's all I'm interested in, Hayden. What weapons are you taking? So what you're currently armed with is a Hesh pattern bolt pistol, which I believe is Gnaeus's, serpentine power sword, which is Siegfried's, a looted las pistol, a looted hand cannon, and you're wearing the light carapace.
I'll have the mesh, the mesh pattern bolt pistol, power sword, and I will keep the hand cannon in reserve, and that's it. I'll leave the other weapons. Or shall we just take one weapon to self out to show them? I don't know.
Entirely up
Yeah,
to you.
I think that's a good idea to take a sample.
I'll take I'll not take the hand cannon then. I'll take one of maybe a sample cannon or something.
Okay, so there was stub autos, stub autos, auto guns, the cannons, and the Pax Factorum with the main weapons.
Cannon really, or a Pax Factorum. It depends. Who's using a Pax Factorum? Is that
Hannibal.
Hannibal's got one for show then, if he's taking that with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are
So-
carrying
Yeah,
one with
well-
you, yeah.
Yeah, and bring some of the.
We're advertising the armor because we're wearing that.
Yeah, respirator and goggles and such.
Yeah, and we're
Okay.
advertising that
Got
stuff.
this one.
So I suppose, do we need to take? Because the big gun's going to draw a lot.
I'd leave a
attention.
cannon. Yeah, I'd leave a cannon back. I wouldn't
Yeah.
leave. Take the
I
cannon
think
with,
we'll be
I'd just
all right then, because we kind of almost advertised.
Is there a lot of data plate?
I'll
Is
take
there a lot
one
of
of the I'll take one of the guns with us.
Uh,
as well.
Vanetta
Johnny,
has
that's-
data slates.
Yeah, if data has, Vanetta could photograph it with take
some
a picture.
pic-
Yeah, I'll say. Well, I think Dave.
Yeah.
Just give us a sec, Dave. Like, you know my the eyes. Can you just remind me what I've got in both eyes, so I don't think it's actually on my character sheet. I don't see.
No,
it on my
you've got
character
a
sheet.
handout.
Yeah.
You've got a handout that tells you what you've
Hand,
got.
why is it? Yeah, no worries. So where's that handout?
Venetta's Augmetics.
Cool. Cheers. Right.
Dave, are you wearing the armor still?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So you've got like a walking advert for the armor and for
This,
the Pax Factorum.
The Merc licenses, are they like photo ID or is it just a fucking license?
Yeah, they're a photo ID basically. They they're not much use in their current state. They're basically like, think of it like a driver's license with your picture on and various biometrics. You could potentially use them to create fake versions later, but it's not something you can do on the fly real quick.
I mean, could Siegfried impersonate one of these people?
Oh,
And then not have his face getting ID'd everywhere, as well as walking around as one pressure point in the car, basically.
Absolutely, you can do that. You can stare at a picture on a Merc license.
However,
certainly not your face is recorded everywhere, isn't it?
If he was recognised by
Good idea.
guys, and when he'd been missing, he might be chased after for being AWOL.
So it's been about 4.5 hours since you killed these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could take any face but your own, mate, is what we're suggesting.
Yeah, like basically.
You don't have to say these guys, but you just want to. Yeah, exactly. So you don't have to be these guys, but you should change your face.
Absolutely. Change your fucking face, Johnny.
Your actual face.
If only.
Just fucking change your face, Johnny. They're just disregard. I think you're quite a handsome chap, Johnny. They're just disregarding your entire existence.
Oh yeah, love you too. Fine.
Really, man.
Siegfried, you know it makes sense. It's only logical. Don't take offense. Now's not the time.
Anyway, so Siegfried, are you changing your face? Are you morphologically masking yourself?
Yes.
Anyone in particular? You can just do a generic face or someone you know, or you could use one of these Merc licenses if you wanted.
I'll use one of the. No, I'll use the face that I used last time when I went to King Sanchez's, which was like, I think it was just sort of like a noble's face, something that we'd killed.
Yeah, it was like I can't remember who it was, but it was someone quite generic who didn't really matter, is what I do remember. So so you're doing a face that King Sanchez recognizes.
Yeah, willpower test then.
Yes, please.
Can I stim myself first so that I'm not fatigued?
You can, yeah.
Okay, I'll just see if I've got any stims left.
If you haven't, Pench can give you one.
Pench, is Pench downstairs? Or is he
You're all still together at the moment. This is preparation. I'm letting you gloss over this a little bit. So.
Yeah, give me the stim, Pench.
Okay, he's going to give you a stim now. In fact, no, he's just going to inject you with a stim now.
Cool.
And he's going to give you the other one he carries.
Cool. Fantastic. Cheers, Pench. You're a lifesaver.
So that gets rid of your fatigue.
Okay, so it's going to be a willpower test, isn't it?
Yep.
Just a standard willpower test.
I think it's standard. It should say in the item description, but
I've got No, it's not chemical, is it?
No. This is like an actual physical mask you have to put on, and you can will it to look like someone else. There you go. Yeah. So you look like this guy that King Sanchez is aware of. You've got a stim in your inventory as well, if you need it.
I always use stim. He's an old boy.
Let me just double check. See if there's anything else. What's he doing there, Dave? What's he doing? Lurking
in the shadows.
No, which channel's he in, Dave?
Lurking in the dirty toilet.
The other game.
Oh, is he?
He's not a channel. He's in the game.
Yeah, he's been lurking on and off. I don't know what he's up to. I don't trust it. He's probably about to tell me that he's got a weapon skill of 100 or something. Anyway, one of the players from the other game is like, I don't know how to describe him. He's weirdly problematic. Like he's not like a nuisance. He's not he's not a bad player. He's not like kick him out the game bad or anything like that. He just does weird, annoying shit all the time, and it's like whenever he makes new characters, it's like he Googles how to make the character everyone will hate, and stuff like that, and like it's really annoying. And like he's not familiar with 40k lore, so when we started playing Dark Heresy and he didn't know what to do, I was like, mate, make a fucking guardsman, just make a soldier, you know, who has no experience other than their world, learn a bit about that world, and it doesn't matter what you do and don't know, because the point of Dark Heresy is you don't know fuck all. You're a random pleb. You're not a fucking god. You're not a space marine. You're a random pleb who will learn as the game goes on. So he made this guardsman, and then he made it an overly complicated backstory, and I was like, oh, for God's sake. So I dealt with that as best I could, and then we started playing the game, and hilariously, and the character is comparable to Arnie. The character is very similar to Arnie, like just a big cunt with a fucking weapon who can kill things real easy. Like, it's a perfect character for someone who doesn't know 40k and doesn't know the rule set.
Apart from when they're in the fetal position.
Apart from when they're in the fetal position. Because, like, every time there's been a combat with anything demonic, she has just collapsed and gone, ah! And in like, the climactic battle against the major villain, she spent the entire 8 rounds of the combat crying on the floor and got up right at the end. So then I asked everyone to make a secondary character, and has made this new character that is clearly built as a counter to that, and it's like gone through every background package and homeworld and every advantage they can find to stack willpower and fear resists and make them fearless against demons and all this. They've built this character to not do the thing that broke them in the first game. And the funny thing is that I've told everyone, you're joining the Ordo Xenos, and he's built this character. It's like, oh, he'll be great against demons. It's like, you're absolutely right, but you're going to join the Ordo Xenos. And he's like, yeah, but I've got this vision. I'll read you this. I'm sorry. This is probably tantamount to bullying, but I have to read you this.
Buttering the eyelids.
The buttering the eyelids thing. This is fucking amazing. So he sent me this.
Before we get to the whole buttering the eyelids, he's dyslexic.
Yeah, so it's like, there's the odd slip, and sometimes he can't pronounce words, and it's a bit, awkward and weird. But then he sent me this message, and I probably shouldn't laugh at this, but you have to, because it is genuinely funny. He sent me this message that says they want to be host bound, so basically they were prepped to be a demon host, and then never became a demon host, which is why they're fearless. Yeah, great. It's a great idea. It really works well. We'll come back to why it might not in a moment. But they sent me this message that said, where is it? Fucking hell. Oh, God. I can't find it, Dave. Can't find it. Oh, here we go. You see, when I first read the background of Hostbound, I just thought, brilliant. This will suit my character down to the T. He's going to be an absolute useless prick in combat, but when the shit hits the fan, as it always does, and those pesky demons start chasing us, and everyone that is combat efficient starts shitting their pants, my character stands there, not buttering an eyelid, with his trusty pen in one hand, and a stub pistol in the other. And like, I was losing it reading this, and I was sending Dave it, going, he's going to be buttering his eyelids. What the fuck? It was amazing. It was so fucking funny. But yeah, he's made this character that's like, just, he thinks he's going to be like striding through combat, making notes on demons. It's like, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Ghee butter is very good for the complexion.
We know it's also very bad for your heart as well, Alan. Avoid ghee. Anyway, what the fuck are we doing? We're playing this game. Let's
stay away.
Stay away from the ghee, Alan. Stay away from it. Okay, so Siegfried stemmed. Anything else anyone wants to do? Hayden, anything you want to do in preparation?
Don't forget the apocryphy.
He can't say apothecary. And it's been apothecist. It's been all sorts. And I'm like, I'm really good at keeping a straight face, but Dave sends me fucking messages.
Dave's not a very nice guy at all. Yeah, exactly.
The thing is, though, Hayden. The thing is that Hayden, your dyslexia, Hayden, doesn't seem to like leak into spoken word. It only seems to be in your written word, and you often pick up on it yourself. Yeah, but like he mispronounces words all the time, and everyone mispronounces words, don't they? But he does it all the time, and it's like it gets to the point where Dave's sending me messages like phonetically spelling what he's missaid, and I'm just sat there going, Trying to
Thing
keep a
works
straight
is he
face.
gives all of his characters ridiculously fucking complicated names, and he can't pronounce them.
That is retarded. When he can't pronounce his own name, you
but-
just sat there going, Jesus, mate, just make it one syllable if it's that bad.
Call yourself fucking Jeff.
Oh, bless him. It's funny.
Anyway.
Anyway, so
That's the plot.
anyone? I've forgotten what we were doing. Anything anyone else wants to do in preparation before you you do this?
No, I think I was good.
Okay.
Sorry, clean any blood off our armor we've got on us.
Okay. Yep. So anyone else that's cleaning blood, you might notice there are a few spots. Most of you didn't get into particular close combat, with the exception of Seraph. But she seems to be permanently coated in blood most of the time these days. But there's a bit of a cleaning session. Everyone wipes each other.
Loaded.
Yeah.
Pause for Johnny.
The
no,
one thing I would
Dave.
like to do while I'm off there is keep my eye out for like a workshop, a spray shop, like metal beating shop, or something what I could get a bit of metal and a handle welded onto it and some spray paint. That's what I want to go up there for.
You're looking for a workshop.
I am looking for a workshop. Yeah.
To do what specifically? Spray up. What? I missed some of that.
What I want to make a shield. I'll get someone to just cut.
I mean, this is a long-term thing.
This
This is something that's going to take a significant time to do, and it's not something that's in your skill set to do either. You're gonna, it would be a Vernetta thing.
I could have just paid something to put a weld on for me, which would take not much time at all on a pre-existing bit of hardened metal.
That's true, but I mean, that's it's
But I was
all.
just going to see if that was possible, and also I wanted to change the colour of my arm from point black.
I mean, you can do all these things if you can find the place to do it, but it's all
Yeah.
time. Everything you do, everything you do in preparation for what happens next is time. Remember that.
Yeah, it's just something I want to keep my eye out for as we go. Anyway,
Okay.
something like that.
All right, cool.
Put an order in.
Okay. Right. Okie dokie. So, you've done various things in preparation for what's about to occur. With the exception of Seraph, the other NPCs are staying in this deserted warehouse on the fringes of the district with the weaponry and a lot of your own weaponry. You're going in armed. I wouldn't say you're particularly lightly armed. You've got some serious firepower and equipment between you. But you have taken some precautions. You've disposed of these bodies. What I'm building up to here is that I've spoken to you all before about the idea of subtlety, something that I brought in the last mission, and I'm bringing it in all the missions from now on. And subtlety affects how things happen and what happens. So I want you to decide amongst yourselves, amongst you four, which one of you, no one just roll it, I want you to decide which one of you four is making the subtlety roll. And the subtlety, it's not based on your skills, it's just a D100 roll against the score that I can see that you can't see. So between the four of you, decide who's making that roll, and when you've decided, one of you make a D100 roll. Off for a week. Back in a sec.
I'm going for Johnny, just because you're like the least subtle person I know. Oh, it's gone.
I kind of like that, Hayden. Like, I kind of like that. I like that. I think that's a strong play.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
And it'll be especially good if he's not there at all, and we just like we'll just have to wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello. Just trying to navigate the maze that is my garage.
I'd like you to make the subtlety roll, please, Johnny.
Oh,
right. Yeah,
Fantastic.
Decided on you.
We've nominated you as the most subtle member of the group to roll a D100.
Fuck off. What's in that?
We must insist. There we go. That's good, right?
I don't know.
We
good
don't
to
know what
me.
this number is. But that's
I
it.
think I think that's a good roll. I'd like to
think-
believe it's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like to. Let's believe it. May not be. But... And the master of subtlety.
What on earth?
Ah, Mansack. Okay, so who rolled the subtlety? Siegfried.
I did.
The best thing about subtlety is that none of you ever know what the aim number is. What I will tell you is that subtlety, there's two levels of subtlety. There's current subtlety and there's meta subtlety. So there's like campaign level of subtlety and what you're currently doing. And they begin at 50 and they go up when you're subtle and they go down when you're not.
All right.
So you've rolled a 29. Do you know what the other best thing about subtlety is? I don't have to tell you what that means.
Okay.
Moving on.
That's because you've been subtle. Isn't
Yeah, exactly.
Ironic.
Okay. As you head into the busy district, the sounds, sights, and smells of Hive Decilium's busiest recreation zone wash over you. The clashing thud and boom of pound music battles with the furious roar of slam rock spilling from the various bars and clubs. Men and women and those in between leer at you from behind dirty glass windows, cavorting and writhing and exposing themselves, beckoning you in while gesturing to menus that offer various services in imagery rather than words. Few down here are literate in any way, so advertising is all very, very on the nose, and sometimes other body parts too. So, I'm going to... I've got a decision to make here. It's not an easy one to make. Let me just cast my eye again over what you're wearing. Rifles, 2 pistols, sword. Pistol and sword, sniper rifles hidden. Just a pistol and a rifle. Blade.
I contacted you from where? I just want to make sure, like, one thing, just be careful not to go for any sort of scammers or anything. I get hooks down.
Did I still carry my flat coat around with me?
Yeah, I'm assuming you've still got the same armor on. I was only interested in what weapons you were taking, so...
I was only asking because, like, I put the carapace on, didn't I? I wouldn't mind just sticking the flat coat over it.
Yeah, I assumed you had,
So I
yeah.
can hide my pistol underneath it as well.
Yeah.
Can't I?
Yeah, I assumed you were wearing whatever armor would make the most, sense.
Yeah, just checking so I don't look like.
So I'm gonna do this as an average. I'm gonna class Hannibal with a sword, 2 pistols, and a rifle as heavily armed. Johnny with a hell pistol, a dismantled rifle, and a power sword.
The rifle you can't see because it's in a lot
Yeah,
of
the
shadow.
rifle you can't see, the sword and the pistol.
I could
Maybe
conceal the sword.
light. I'm not worried about the sword as much as the firearms. The pistol
Yeah.
would be considered, so one of each. Vernetta, plasma pistol and deathlight, probably heavily armed because the rifle's visible. Gaius has got a flat coat on, bolt pistol and serpentine blade. Put you into lightly armed. This is all about what other people can see, not what you're actually equipped with. It's what people can see. And Seraph is with you, so it's the 4 of you and Seraph. Seraph would she'd probably give up the cutlass and keep the rapier lightly armed. I'm going to move you into the average over the group of 5 as being lightly armored. And this is all about, this is a bit meta-y, but this is all about what other people around you perceive you to be in terms of threat. So now I know your subtlety and I know your armed state. So, what did you roll on your subtlety again?
29.
29. Beautiful. Yeah. You draw a few glances here and there from the people on your street. The odd bouncer and doorman eyes some of you with suspicion, specifically Hannibal and Vernetta. They seem to clock you too. You notice very few people are armed down here. You might see the odd person with a pistol tucked in a belt or a crude blade stuffed in a boot. Save from the bouncers and the guards, there's very little weaponized threat. But as you notice this lack of weaponry among the citizens, which come as no surprise, the citizens are also noticing you that are quite heavily armed, Vernetta and Hannibal. Not all of them, just a few that get too close to you, you know, brush up against you, or, you know, come within a foot or two of you, and they spot the weapons and the armor you wear, and they give you a bit of a wider berth. So I'd like everyone to make a awareness test at +10, please. Johnny, the stim's probably worn off by now.
Okay.
Sight-based.
So yeah, it's sight-based. So Johnny, it'll be it'll just be awareness. The +10 will balance out the fatigue, and you have heightened senses, so you'll be on +10 as well.
Okay.
Hey guys, sorry about
You all right,
that.
mate?
I have to go away. What did I miss?
Was just doing.
Awareness, like,
Oh, sorry, I can't hear. Just one sec.
subtlety.
So what did I miss?
I was just doing walking through the crowd. There's a few people have clocked like your Deathlight rifle and Hannibal's Pax Factorum. A few people give you a wide berth. You don't think you're being like massively obvious, but the people that get close to you are, you know, wary that you're carrying weapons. And I'd like an awareness test with a +10, and any other modifiers you might have for sight-based stuff. Okay, Gaius. You notice, Gaius, with your policeman's eye, there is a unifying theme to those. There is a unifying theme to those who you notice down here do bear arms. There are a few in the crowd, a few passers-by, a few gamblers, drinkers, things like that. But the vast majority of people that are armed, besides yourselves, those that guard the drinking dens and the gambling halls and the brothels, they all have a common style of dressing and hairstyles and ink. The colour yellow seems to be quite prominent as well on these armed people. And while no two people are dressed alike, each individual definitely varies in their appearance. There is like a common theme to how these people that are armed are dressing. And here and there, you also spot there are rifle bearers high up in vantage points, people with scoped weaponry, looking out windows on gantries and walkways, things like that. They're making no attempt to conceal themselves. They're making it very obvious that they're there. They don't seem to be particularly interested in you and your friends. They're just keeping watch over the crowd in general. And you start to realise that you know King Sanchez's colour is yellow. And you realise that there's King Sanchez's people are all over this crowd, armed, watching the crowd.
So my policeman's deduction goes, well, wherever they buy the gun shop, they must offer the same hairdos at the same time. No, I'll relay this information to the group and my consensus.
Okay, so Gaius spreads this knowledge about you. These people with yellow, some of them have yellow sashes, some maybe have a headband, some maybe dye their hair yellow, some have patches of their armour sprayed yellow. And once Gaius points this out to you, you start to see it too. You know, every establishment, every club, every bar, every brothel has at least one or two reasonably well armed guards at the door that sport the colour yellow, and they are 95% of the people that bear weapons down here.
Oh, Gaius has an amazing idea. He says to the group, you know, we could maybe make a bit extra money on this if we put a yellow stripe on any of his armour. Oh no, it's not with us, it doesn't matter. Go there, paint with a yellow stripe on each one of the hits of armour and stuff.
I mean, that sounds like a really good way to get yourself killed.
It does.
Says honest John, the lawman.
Gaius is the worst copper you've ever met, isn't he? He's fucking terrible. He's like he's almost as bent as a real copper.
He puts the filth in filth, doesn't he? Yeah.
Brilliant. The most holy man on earth.
Okay, so eventually you find the place you're looking for, the largest establishment in the Workers' House district. Ludmilla's Den is a 4-story sprawling building covered in scrap signage and neon signs that depict its various services and wares in lewd and lurid ways. They don't have words on the sides of these buildings, just neon signs doing things. There are 2 entrances, pause for Johnny, to the club.
You should have.
Both of the entrances are watched over by half a dozen heavily armed men and women that wear like chainmail and plate armor. Quite lightweight looking plate. It still looks fairly primitive, but it looks like it's been, you know, well made. They mostly carry shotguns and axes, but there is one figure that stands out, this huge hulking ogrin who wears a bow tie and a black waistcoat that's over his bare chest, and he has in one hand a huge maul. I think you've all seen him before. Most of you have anyway. He has a huge maul in one hand and a tiny little data slate in the other hand. One of his eyes is augmetic, and there is a glint of steel that reveals some sort of cranial augments plugged into his brain as well. Beside him is a very well-dressed man in a dark suit. And he stands there just observing the queue that you can see. This queue of hopefuls that trails off about 50, 60 metres down the road. All people waiting to gain entrance to Ludmilla's Den. And seemingly at random, or maybe at whim, this man dismisses some people while allowing other people entry, and there's no obvious rhyme or reason to who he admits or who he banishes. There is a second door nearby, which is separated off from the road by a red rope between 2 golden pillars. There is no queue before this door, and above the door it says VIP entrance in pink neon signs.
That's tradesman's entrance, I think, so we've got to convince them. If we want to speak with them anyway. So where are we going to trade the weapons from? Is you going to go to that weapons trade or to try and go to King Sanchez?
So the weapons trader, the guy that you tried to sell weapons to before the last time you were
in the
here,
club.
was you met him through someone in the club, and they took you to one of the derelict buildings on the outskirts.
Ah, right, okay, so no.
It would be
So,
there first, then.
So we're going to go in the normal side of the club then, or this is a derelict building. It's not like a shop or anything. It's just like where they met up, right? So maybe we know to go in the club normal rather than trying to go like tradesman's entrance is like seeking Sanchez, I think.
Yeah, so I mean, it's fairly obvious that meeting you had last time for the weapons was set up in the club. So if if you went back to that place and sat there, you'd probably just be sat there forever. So you've got a couple of options here. You can either queue up like normal punters, or you can try the VIP entrance.
So does anyone know anyone inside here? I don't think Vernetta does.
Gaius
So,
was here last time.
Gaius, Siegfried, and Hannibal have all met and spoke with King Sanchez, and his second in command, Diego.
Yeah. So I suggest we try and go in there and try and set up a deal and make ourselves known rather than trying to go in the normie side then.
Yeah.
Were we allowed in the VIP last time?
Yeah, that was how you got in last time.
I think because we had Canny though, didn't we?
Yep.
We might as well. I think we should still give it a try, and we can always name drop
Yeah.
Canny as well, can't we?
Yeah.
Okay. You're going for the VIP entrance, the back
yeah.
passage.
Sure. Tradesman's entrance, Dave, please.
Sorry. As you approach the VIP entrance, the man in the suit who's watching the crowd turns to you, and he takes a few steps down the steps away from the door. It adjusts the cuffs of his suit as he approaches you, and he says, "Good evening, gentlemen and ladies." And then he looks straight at you, Gaius, and says, Mr. Mortalis, the king bids you welcome. It has been a time.
We were wondering if we could get to see the king on trading purposes.
He pauses for a moment, just looks straight at you, very faint smile on his lips. Doesn't say anything for a good sort of awkward 10 seconds. He says, I am thinking that can be arranged, yes. And he looks to Siegfried and says, welcome back, Mr. I'm afraid we did not get your name last time.
Rasler.
Yes, of course. Mr. Reisler. And he turns to you, Hannibal, and says, Mr. King, it is also a pleasure to welcome you back. And then he turns to you, Vernetta, and says, the king is not familiar with you, however, miss.
Miss Victoria, I'm here as a technical advisor to my colleagues.
I'd like to make a deceive test, please.
It's kind of half true.
I'm good at those. Deceive. I'm good at these.
He looks at you for a good few seconds.
Okay, if he doesn't believe me, I'm not telling my name. You don't need to know my fucking name.
Looks at you for a good few seconds, Vernetta, and then you see one corner of his mouth
Okay,
twitches ever so slightly. He says, "Of course, a technical advisor." And then he turns to Seraph. He turns to Seraph and he dips his head towards her and says, "Good evening, Miss Seraph. Always a pleasure to see you." Seraph says nothing. He then turns and addresses you all. He sort of sweeps his arms out wide, addressing the five of you, and says, any friends of Mr. Mortalis or Mr. Canny are friends of mine and King Sanchez's, and as such are all welcome here. However, I must ask, of course, that you check your weapons at the entrance. I trust that will not be a problem. It is a club rule.
Not a problem.
Not a problem for me.
Excellent. Please, this way. And he turns and he heads back up the stairs and he unhooks the red rope from the gold pillar and steps back, gestures for you all to enter, and the outer door swings open into the club.
I'd like to enter in last and then tip in 3 thrones after I've got in.
Okay?
Wordless. There's quite a lot down this end of the hive.
It is. 3 thrones is, yeah. There's some fluff somewhere that says like 3 or 4 thrones is like a week's wage to some people.
Just saying he's being a bit tight, that's all I'm saying.
No. He takes it. He takes it very gratefully. He smiles at you, Gaius, nods and says, "Thank you, Mr. Mortalis." Continues smiling as he holds the door open.
But he's on the side, yeah.
Remove 3 thrones from your inventory, please, Gaius.
I said 3 because I had 23 left. and
Yeah.
I wanted to say-
That's literally how my brain works as well. So. Okay. So
right,
you
Mikhail.
head inside. Okay. Wait for Alan to come back. Actually, we won't wait for Alan to come back. I'm going to ask you all while you're here. As you were... excuse me. It's just to skim over a bit of time. As you enter this place, you are going to be asked for your weapons. So I don't want to know what you're giving. I want to know if there's anything you're keeping back.
Yeah. I'm in a bit of a tricky situation. here,
You are?
'cause I have my arms. My arm is a weapon.
Yep.
My feet are a weapon.
Yep.
And it like kind of give away that I'm a high grade android under here.
Yep. So you have a decision to make here. If you tell them you have concealed weapons like that, a few things are going to become apparent. One of which is you're not entirely human. The other is that you're not the same as you were the last time you were here. The other is that you must have significant financial backing, actually, to be able to get that sort of stuff done. So you can try and conceal this if you want. You've no idea how that will pan out. But you can literally just give in your obvious weapons and see what happens if you want to do that. Or you can tell someone, I've got augments, man. It's entirely up to you what you want to do. But be aware that whatever you choose right now can have effects.
Consequences.
Yeah. So Gaius, what are you doing with your weapons?
I'm handing in my obvious ones.
Yep.
And then I'll.
Oh, I love the agony. Oh.
Keep the other. I'm going to keep the other stuff on me.
What? You've got your melter and you've got your power blades in your feet, yeah?
I think. Am I equipped with the shotgun mod at the moment?
No, you had the melter.
Have I?
Yeah.
Not gonna be any combat there, is there? So
I mean, I've got one shot in that, haven't I?
Yeah.
Is that my shotgun mod gone then?
No, you just haven't got it with you.
Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah. I'll just say I'm going to beat because I've got cybernetic arms and legs.
Okay. Okay, you say that as you walk in, you realise there are weapon scanners in here as well.
Yeah.
There is a couple on the wall, and there's another Ogrin inside who has an Auspex in his hand, and he scans you as you walk in. So that's Gaius.
Yeah.
Hannibal, what are you doing with all your weapons?
I'll give them all in.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give all mine in as well.
What about you, Vernetta?
Yeah, I just was checking on something, Dave. On my talents and traits, it says I've got a concealed weapon in the right arm to be determined.
Yeah.
But on my augmetics, I don't see, unless I've missed it, I don't see the concealed weapon on the augmetics.
I think the reason that you don't see it on your augmetics is because you never picked what it was.
Okay.
So it can be a melee
the
weapon,
options are-
dagger-sized, or it can be a pistol weapon.
What about, like I said, I was going to say, like a plasma pistol?
A pistol weapon. Any pistol weapon. Obviously, different
Yeah.
types of pistol weapons have different pros and cons.
Yeah, cool. We'll go for plasma pistol then.
So by that I mean, like, depending on how someone searches you, a plasma pistol might show up on, say, an energy scan, whereas a bolt pistol or a stub auto might not, because there's no power source.
Okay. But yeah, still, I don't know, like, I'm always going to set the scanners, aren't I, Dave? Anyway, like, I'm full of metals, right?
You are,
So
yeah.
I'm going to, so I'm going to go for the plasma pistol.
Okay.
If necessary, I'll try and wing it.
Okay, so the plasma pistol counts. I haven't got your stats ready for you for that, but the concealed plasma pistol counts as a concealed weapon. So it's compact. So by that it means your range is it's the stat profile of your original plasma pistol, but with half range, half clip size, -1 damage, maybe -1 pen as well.
Oh, no, it's not sticking in. So, So yeah, I'll put down my regular plasma pistol and the deathlight, and I'll obviously keep the concealed
Yeah.
weapon.
Halfway.
Halfway, that's the other one. Thank you, Dave.
There's no pen penalty, just damage.
Just damage, so it's -1 damage, no difference to pen. So,
Okay, cool.
so you have,
Cheers.
for now on, got a concealed plasma pistol in that arm. Gaius, were you trying to say something else in the background then, and I couldn't hear?
Wait for the turn. I was going to say, you've got the. Did I have a melter in my arm last time I came around?
You definitely had a. You definitely had an augmetic arm at that point.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think. You would have done. Yes. Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Okay. And what did I do with that time? Did I?
Nothing. You were searched for weapons at the door. They took your weapons off you, and then you walked in and you had your melter armed in your arm.
Yeah. Okay. I'll feel like it's the same way then.
Okay, so are you still telling them that you're cybernetic?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You enter Ludmilla's den. The muffled sound of lay pound, the smoother, easier going subgenre of music popular in early evening, plays in the background as you enter Ludmilla's den. Each of you have been here before. Gaius and Siegfried, you came here with Canny when the big lad was asked to get rid of a pest, a thorn in King Sanchez's side, a man who claimed to have proof of the king's links to a most terrible crime, and was attempting to blackmail him. The three of you decided that day to spare the blackmailer and his boy, on the condition that he fled the hive and never returned. Vernetta, you came here once seeking Canny, and ended up having a wild night of drunken debauchery with him and Spring. That seemed like the apex of your relationship with the big lad. A short-lived fling that burned itself out shortly after. The flesh, Vernetta, is weak, after all. And Canny has so much of it. So much of that. So much blessed flesh. And young Spring, impressionable as she is, had proclaimed you a busy mate after that night. You still aren't sure where she got that blood-stained sanctuary helmet from. And so much of that night is a blur. And since then, you've moved on, away from such base pleasures of the flesh, like drink and drugs and food and other things. And Hannibal, you came here once with Seraph, and the king helped you gain entrance to the Golden Dawn Arena, where you gained contacts in the rival gang's hideout. Contacts that may know something about the Beast House. But for Seraph, well, Seraph knows this place for a different reason. And as you enter this place, another Ogrin stands inside the foyer, smiles pleasantly at you, revealing his one tooth, as he begins to scan you with this handheld Auspex device. A pleasantly smiling young lady with a low-cut top and a hell of a lot of facial piercings greets you from behind an armor-glass screen. A drawer opens beneath the screen and slides out towards you, and he says, "Weapons in the box, please, darling." And the Ogre goes, "Yeah, weapons in the box," as he scans you. He's going to scan all of you. He's going to use his tech use, his Ogrin tech use, coupled with this Auspex to scan each of you for weapons that may be concealed. It's going to start with Gaius.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
He scans you, and then he stops, and he just pauses for a moment, Gaius, and he looks at you and goes, You work out a lot.
Do lift some iron.
Yeah. He looks at the Auspex again, says, Do you, do you take gear to, get bigger?
Well, a few cybernetics here and there.
His eyebrow arches, he reels back for you and goes, Sistertronics, yeah. I'm all about the Sistronics myself too. I've been taking 100 milligrams of it a day, and it's got me lifting things that I didn't even know existed, like books and females.
That's really good result, man.
Yeah, it is. You got to put your weapons in the box for me, big man. He points at the box. He looks again at the Auspex, says, Yeah, it's some big gains, bro. Yeah.
I know, it's been a while since last time we met.
Yeah, you have met this guy before.
Yeah.
He said, you've been, you're gonna have to give me a diet plan, man, and let me know the name of your trainer.
I've been on, what's it called, paste. A lot of paste.
Fruit, a lot of paste.
Oh yeah, the paste diet. I've heard all about that. Yeah. You only eat paste between 10 in the morning and 5 in the evening, and the rest of the time you just eat, nothing. I don't understand. I have to eat every 3 hours. The girl behind the counter at this point knocks on the glass, and she goes, "Oi, come on! There's customers waiting. They're not spending." He says, "Oh yeah, sorry." He turns to you guys and he pats you on the shoulder, slaps you quite hard on the shoulder. Luckily, there's flesh there, and you feel the pressure of this hit. And he goes, "You take care, man." And then he turns to the next one of you in the queue, which is Hannibal. Hannibal, I don't think you met this guy the last time you came out. I don't think he was on the door.
I remember.
No, I don't think he was. I think you and Seraph met Diego at the door. And he turns to you and he says, "Oh, hello, big fellow. There's some meaty boys in tonight. Weapons in the drawer." And he points at the drawer.
He likes the meaty boys.
Stick everything in.
Okay. And he plays the Auspex over you. And he says, "Have you got hidden about your personage a secret tooth with a vial of poison in it that you can use to spit at your enemies?"
Strangely enough, no.
Ah, it was a trick question. Sometimes I throw them in just to see if I can catch out, assassins and the like. "You're welcome to go on through." And he says, your voice words, your noise mouth, the sounds that you make when you breathe and you're flexing your lips. You don't sound like you're from around here. Where are you from?
Long way away.
What, like Gainsborough?
Further than that.
Oh,
stop
Sorry, I'm having to make a note of Gainsborough, my own fucking stupid joke. Long way away. What, like the Spire?
Nah, further than that.
Above the Spire.
Well, yeah, long way above that.
Holy terror!
Not quite that far.
I mean, I literally don't know any other places, mate. So, you may as well have told me you were a mushroom.
I'm a mushroom.
Oh, sweet! I knew a mushroom. He was called Kevin.
Can I go in then?
Yeah, crack on, and he points you towards the entrance.
I'll walk off.
Next up, it's Siegfried. Siegfried, he goes, "Oh, look at you with your weird wibbly wobbly face," and that catches you off guard because you know the morphologic mask should not be seen. It's supposed to look like a human face, but this Ogrin seems to have noticed it. But he carries on, he plows on regardless, and he says, "Weapons in the box, please, sir, just over here." And he gestures towards it.
Yeah, put some in.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm gonna play this device upon your personage. Do I have your consent? I mean, I really don't give a fuck. If I don't, I'm scanning you anyway. And he plays the device up and down over you.
Do what you must.
He detects something. He suddenly stops and goes, "Ooh!" And he leans in and goes, "You got a thing in you."
It's prosthesis, new spine.
A new spine. Well, what's a spine?
The thing that holds you upright.
No. That's the Emperor's love and light.
The other thing that holds you up, besides the Emperor's love and light.
Mum?
The other thing besides Mum and the Emperor's light.
Mum's friend Kevin?
Yes, it's a Kevin.
I'm just fucking with you. I mean, how stupid do you think you are? You've got a little sneaky implant, ain't you, mate?
Yeah, it's a subtle drug dispenser. I may need it from time to time just to give me a little pick-me-up.
Give me a fellowship test, please.
Oh dear. He wants to wrestle. I can sense it.
An Ogrin is it?
Fellowship is my first trait. No, it's not actually. It's not too bad. Should just mention games, shouldn't I? Really? Like,
Talk about gains. Siegfried can't talk about gains. He doesn't know. He looks you up and down and goes, "All right, yeah. Don't worry about it, sir. You fit right in here. You know, it's just a different sneaky way of killing yourself slowly. Over by the door, please, sir." He gestures you to enter. He seems to lose interest in you quite quick.
I'll give him a nod. Yeah.
And then he
Another wink.
he turns to Vernetta. It's as good as a blowjob to a blind man, or something. Vernetta.
That's true, though.
Vernetta, he turns his attention upon you and says, "Good evening, my dear. My lovely. Oh, look at you. Don't you look lovely in that weird combination of fancy dress and armour plate? Oh, what a sight you make. Would you like to put your weapons in the box, please?"
Of course. I should put weapons, obviously, in the box other than the concealed one.
Okay, and then he's going to do a little scan on you.
Loving the tunes, by the way, Dolph.
It's good, isn't it?
It's good.
He says, "You've got a wangy hand, love."
I mean,
Who doesn't?
that's quite insulting.
Is it? I don't care. There's a problem with your wangy hand, right? It's like it's giving off signals like that tell me it's got juice in it.
Yes, that's right.
Right, okay, so we've got some options here, haven't we, love? Option 1, you take off the wangy hand, you put it in the box. Option 2, I take off the hand and put it in the wangy box. Option 3, you don't come in.
No,
Oh,
you
wait.
mistake me. I have multiple redundant power systems.
Yeah, Reginald power system. Pretend for a moment, and I'm not too bright and I don't understand what that means.
I've got any like cybernetic bits on display. I know some of it's quite.
Yeah, one of your hands was. You've got
Yeah,
something on your head. You've got something on your neck.
Yeah. So, given that I'll have my helm off and I'll, demonstrate to the, to the augmetics. I'll take the armor off and show the hand as well and say, these systems need power. Should be obvious.
Give me a deceive test, please. I'll give you a +10 for this, because, I mean, it's a fucking ogre.
I'm good at these deceives. It's somewhat of a speciality.
That was pretty bad, Alan. Do you want to do anything about that?
Yeah, let's use my reroll, man. Why not? That's good for that. You know, like some nights. I know it's like some nights you get some great, you know what I mean, like great flow of dice, and you can't seem to put a foot wrong.
Yeah.
And other days you get like days like these, where.
But it also
still.
it's perfect for Vernetta, I think.
I give it. Why not? I mean, what else are we gonna do? It has to be
Okay,
done,
so 5 degrees.
Oh.
He's gonna be scrutinizing, peers at you as you say this, trying to see if he believes you. He absolutely does not. I mean, he absolutely does. That's a 97. He goes, "Yeah, that makes sense, don't it?" He pats you on the shoulder. He nearly hammers you into the ground as he does this. He says, "You go in. You put your weapons in the box. You go in. You have a good night." Yeah. And then he turns to Miss Seraph and he bows. And he goes, "Miss Seraph, a pleasure as always." And she pats him and says, there, good boy," in her best Inquisitor Mesmeron voice that you've heard her do before. Seraph doesn't even get scanned. Okay. And into the club you go. So, just to clarify, Vernetta and Gaius both have concealed weapons built into their bionics. Should you need them? Okay. Once all the weapons are removed from all of you, the door to the club slides open and the lay pound swells in volume. Inside, another pleasantly smiling young lady awaits you. She makes the sign of the Aquila, nods her head, and beckons for the 5 of you to follow her.
You shall.
She leads you into the club, past the bar, passing behind a privacy-screened booth where smudged, blurry figures sit in conversation, leads you round the edge of the club, up onto a raised area, up a few steps. This raised area is watched over by a bouncer with an obvious bulge under his arm in his jacket. And the waitress leads you to a dimly lit booth that overlooks the dance floor. And on the dance floor you see patrons writhe and grind against one another to the pulse of the lay pound. The air is heavy with Obscura and Io. Assorted mid and low hivers congregate in small groups and in booths. A couple of better dressed upper mid corpo execs smooths with scantily clad ladies over near the stage. The raised stage itself pulses with light and is wreathed in smoke and holds a number of almost naked female dancers, 2 of which appear to be playing out some sort of bondage fantasy. One of them lashes a segmented whip against the bare flesh of the other, who shrieks in pain over the sound of the music, just peaking slightly over the lay pound's beat. The punished dancer's back arches as she's struck by the whip, and she gasps in...
I gasp away.
Is it pain? Is it pain or is it pleasure?
Don't know.
Blood drips from the welts across her back and from her buttocks. Her face is etched in a strange rictus of pain and ecstasy. In the centre of the stage, a man is surrounded by vast speakers and vox equipment. He bobs about to the beat of the lay pound. His ears are covered with what appears to be bulky headphones that are bolted to his head. He tweaks control knobs and sliders, causing the surging beat to rise and fall. The dancers on the dance floor, dripping blood onto the stage, rolls over onto her knees, and she begins to crawl towards her mistress with the whip. And her dominatrix partner licks her lips and reaches down, attaching a length of chain to her pet's collar, and begins to drag her upright to her feet. She leans in, drinking deep of her mouth. The whip snakes up around the slave's calf, almost like it has a mind of its own. It coils up and up over the knee, round the thigh, and higher and higher. "Can I get you some drinks?" says your waitress, pulling your attention away from the stage. Gaius, what vile cesspit of sin have you found yourself in now? This is debauchery. Plain and simple. This is a place of pleasure, a celebration of hedonism. This is not the place for Gaius the Pious, is it? The young waitress stands there waiting. We've got amasec, we've got wine, we've got ale, we've got amasex. What did she say, Gaius? If it's not drinks you want, there's Obscura, Glimmer, Spur, Wide Awake, Verita. Narcotics, Gaius! Just openly being sold! Or if you're hungry, there's a food menu. She points at the table where there is indeed a very reasonable food menu with very average everyday food items on. She says, we've got a wide variety of snacks and sandwiches. I recommend the Grox burger. Or if you're hungry for another kind of meat, she points to the stage where the dancers still ride. That's on the table too. She winks. Gaius! What are you doing here?
All I'm here for is to complete King Sanchez, please. I have no desire. I might buy a drink on the way out, but I must make sure I do business sane and sober.
Okay. Just a moment. She looks a little flustered, and she turns to each of you and says, anyone else? A drink? Something to eat, maybe? She looks around at each of you. Oh.
Yeah, I'll have an amateur.
Anyone else?
Nah.
I'm just going to say, I don't require that.
Trantia says, Trantia, does Trantia order a drink? I've got this written down somewhere.
Seraph, you mean?
No. Oh yeah, I do mean Seraph. Yeah. Seraph says, "What about you? Are you on the table?" She asked the barmaid. The barmaid blushes. "I'm afraid not, miss. I'm working." "Of course," says Seraph, a hungry gleam in her eye. When do you get off? And would you like to?" The barmaid looks a little scared suddenly. I'm busy, miss. I'm sorry, I'm busy. She almost mutters in a low voice, the kind of voice a rabbit might have when it speaks to a wolf. Seraph smiles and looks away, gazing at the distant spectacle of flesh writhing on the stage. She says, "Renka, bring the bottle." And she drops a large amount of thrown gelt onto the edge of the table. The barmaid scoops up the coin, says, "Very well. Amasek and Renka. No one else?" She looks at the rest of you.
Me? Nope.
She leaves. Almost immediately in her place, as she steps away, another figure approaches you. A tall man with olive skin, wearing an immaculate suit. His dark hair is slicked back. He wears small, dark, oval-shaped glasses. You recognise him as Diego, King's second in command, and he makes a shallow bow, a brief Aquila, and says, "The king bids you welcome. He asks if this is a business or pleasure visit."
Bit of both.
Nods at you, Gaius, and says, "Then please, I ask that you be patient. This was an unexpected arrival. The king will see you, but he has a prior engagement. He will send for
course.
you soon."
Thank you very much for your time.
Diego nods, makes the sign of the Aquila again, backs away.
I'll make the sound of Quilla back. And just think how good
Okay. The waitress returns. She places a glass in front of Siegfried, a squat, quite wide, but low-sided glass with like a little finger's worth of a dark liquid in the bottom. And in front of Seraph, she places a single glass, a similar glass to what you've got, and a bottle. This strange, wide but narrow bottle. So it's like wide in one dimension but very narrow in the other. It takes up a lot of desk space. And it's full of this sort of bright orange liquid. Place it in front of Seraph. And turns to leave. Everyone make a sight-based awareness test, please. Close, Hannibal, but no cigar.
So yeah, plus.
Yeah, you get a +10 for side base, but you're also fatigued, so they balance each other out.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Okay.
Pench still in earlier.
Got my drink.
Yeah, but it didn't last very long. It just lasted for like a few minutes. So, yeah, the waitress. Yeah, the waitress disappears, and I'm just gonna go for a wee. I'll be right back.
Dave got a bit smutty there, didn't he?
It just went all a bit. I don't know. Well, I have to admit, I did find it very funny with the like. Gaius just starts looking like Greg. I mean, it's like that. So I thoroughly enjoyed that bit, but yes.
Yeah, that was good.
So I have to step back to Dave there, so I'm going to say as much to him. So that amused me no end. Gaius, a bias.
He's realised he's not really got a job.
What's your job, guys?
That's it. Did I hear laughter, frivolity in my absence? I don't recall giving you permission to enjoy yourselves.
We just say you get smutty, Dave.
Yeah, well, sometimes you have to. You know, I like to think that I have a wide palette of ways to abuse you or myself or anyone who gets within the vicinity of me. And tonight I've gone for smut. So, fuck you. Exactly.
So just another weapon in the arsenal.
Exactly. I'm the GM. It's my weapon.
in the way.
I'll use it when I'm fucking ready. Oh yeah. You've no idea what I've got up my arsenal.
I don't know what you've got. I don't know what you've got under, the camera doing.
Great jogging bottoms. I am wearing my not commented on enough D&D themed It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia t-shirt.
Nice.
Right, anyway. Dave, I've done that thing to my headphones again. I'm gonna have to buy a new cable. I've lost my right earphone. Right, okay, so yeah, so you're currently in Ludmilla's den. You know what would make this feel better is a visual, right? I know Hayden loves a good map that he can graffiti on. So here you go. Here's
Well,
Ludmilla's
nice.
den.
Oh wow, cool. Wicked.
It's all black.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Anyone else got it all black?
Nope.
Yep.
I can see the
So,
whole thing.
yeah, see?
This place
all
looks
black.
ace, Dave. Oh,
No, this place is shit, Dave.
gnarly.
Hannibal, Gaius. For some reason, your vision is turned off. Vernetta, you can see, can't you?
I can't see.
You should be able to see now. So it's only Siegfried.
Ah, that's it. That's right. Yeah.
There you go. There is Ludmilla's den. You're in a booth.
Black for me.
Still all black for you. Stay on,
Lock me
Alan.
in a cupboard. Feed me pins.
What's for dinner, mother?
Lies.
Dave, can you see?
Can now, yeah.
Gaius, can you still not see?
No.
Just reload your web
Black.
browser then, because your vision's on. It should be working. Okay. So right now, you're sat around this table. Siegfried has an amasec. Seraph has a very large bottle and a single glass of something. Just a second. Are you sorted yet, Gaius?
No. No, I've reloaded it.
That's very peculiar. Let me,
Unless I come out and then go back in.
yeah, try that. Let me
Yes.
double check.
I'll go back out.
Could you see nothing, or was it just black?
Just black.
That's really weird. I don't know why that would be. Black, black, like the night. I'm gonna put some light on Gaius to see if that makes a difference. It might fuck some of you up. I don't know. Here you go. Okay, so yeah, you're currently sat around this table. The king will see you shortly. If you want to do or say anything, now's the time. Oh wait, that's accurately not accurate.
Accurately not accurate.
Yeah. So Trantia and Pench aren't there. Or Gnaeus.
Just one of those new maps in that pack I got you.
No, it's not. Because do you know what's really fucking weird? The day that you sent me that message saying that you were going to send me a map pack, Cyberpunk map pack, I just fucking bought this. And this was $3.99. It had 14 maps in it, but they were all exactly the same as this with different lighting conditions.
Oh.
The one I got you was $3.99 and it had 140 different maps in it.
There's a
So
few
guys,
of these that
for,
are useful. Well, most of them.
So for the record, guys, I wouldn't mind any for them map packs for Cyberpunk. So if you got them,
I'll
please
sell
send
you
to me.
any.
If that's,
Did you get
yeah,
all the
cheers.
tokens I sent you?
yeah, I did get them. Thank you. I say it's always nice to have a bit more.
If you're ever in the
Well,
market for cheap maps, Alan, look on Etsy, believe it or not.
Etsy. No, I've never heard
Yeah.
that one. No.
Be
There
careful.
are some shit ones, but there are some really good map packs on Etsy. And they're like
Yeah.
£4 for 140 maps.
But you have to be careful
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you know those ones you sent me earlier, Dave?
Yeah.
You know the ones that are showcased on the website and a few others are really good. But when you look at the whole lot of them, you
Yeah, yeah.
realise a lot of them are like AI generated.
Oh, yeah.
And they don't make a lot of sense. Although I think the AI is going to really... It's next year.
You got to bear in mind though, there's 140 maps for £4. No one's going to spend a lot of time creating maps that they
Honestly.
sell for that low price, are they?
Honestly,
So they're going to be AI generated.
If I got 3 or 4 maps out of a £4 pack, I'd think I got the money.
Exactly.
worth. Because
Exactly.
it saves a lot of work. Also.
Yeah. You might have 70 shit maps, but you got 70 good maps, and it costs £4.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, what were we doing? Where were we? Oh yeah, we're in here. So yeah, you're free to do whatever you want to do at the moment. There's the 4 of you and Seraph in this nightclub. Black. I can see where the rest of tonight's going. So, by all means, do what you want to do.
I'm gonna talk to the shadows.
Venetta's gonna go black. Under breath now. She's gonna. I like to. I see there's a little pig skull over there, Dave. Is that right?
There is, yeah.
Yeah. Can I Is it possible to tap into that at all?
So first of all,
let's
give
say
me
fields
an
from.
awareness test for it.
Fields
Give me an
from
awareness test,
Pench.
just looking at it before you even think about anything else. Okay.
Every roll, man.
It looks
Go on
like
then. So 92, so 5 degrees of failure.
It looks like a fairly common Imperium standard issue servo skull that is floating about here. Clearly, it's not. You know, you're smart enough to realise it's not part of the administratum or any official organisation. It clearly belongs to someone or an organisation that are affiliated with this place because it's blatantly, obviously, just sweeping around at head height. It's not trying to be sneaky. It's doing nothing like that. It either belongs to someone in here or belongs to an institution that can be in here without causing trouble. So, on that note, do you want to still hack it?
Yeah, I think it belongs to the house, right? So I just want to see if I can, not enough to have to take it away from them, but see if I can tap into it, see if it's
just tapping it.
I like to use my fields, Dave, if I can.
Yeah.
To see what we can see, because then if it's scanning around, then we can use that as well.
Okay, cool. So give me a tech use test at +10. Black. Black.
What are you doing tonight, mother? Sleeping in father's grave?
I fucking love it.
What's for dinner, mother? Pins. Okay, yeah. So you close your eyes and you close your eyes and you reach out with the force. Close your eyes and you stretch out into the noosphere with your mind, and you immediately find a few points of contact that you can tap into. One of the most obvious ones, the one that screams at you in your senses, is obviously Gaius. He is a heavily augmented thing, but there are many machines around this place. There is this big camera jib thing in the middle of the room. There is the Auspex systems built into the room. There are Vox systems basically built into the room for the music. There are a few punters here and there with some very minor, uninteresting augmentations. And then there is this skull. And you slide into it like a hot knife through butter. And you have control.
Big smutty again, Dave.
Well, no, you are. Like fiction. You are one with it. You are connected to it.
A hot knife through buttered eyelids.
Buttered eyelids. You are in. You are in,
eyelids.
Vernetta. You're penetrated deep. You don't have
Buttered
control.
pigeon.
You don't have control of this servo skull, but you do have a feed from it.
Cool. Yes, I just tap that in, and that'd be may or may not be useful.
Yep. So you now have picture-in-picture, and you can see all these weird and wonderful people. They look like the people.
And
From
what about like
the
and also, Dave, what about the comms for like if you're inside the club, as in the security comms that that their Kinsantis' security use?
Or you want to try and go for them as well, do you?
I don't know. Just I want to just assess if it's possible or how difficult that would be.
You're already into the network, so give me an awareness test with +10.
Ice rolls. I'm good at these. Yeah.
Yes,
One degree.
you are aware that there is a network of communications running throughout this facility, and you can maybe even see who they are using them, which is all the staff that should be named on the map.
Yep.
You can't hear what's being said. You could maybe force your way in, but you get the impression that if you did, you might give yourself away.
Okay. No, I'll not do that then, Dave.
Okay, so you have, remember Al, you have visual feed of this skull. I'm just going to put some vision on it. Giving you control of the skull, Al, but I'd like if you don't move it. It's basically to give you the vision of the skull. In case it goes anywhere. Okay. Anyone else doing anything at this moment in time? You're just sitting here. Siegfried, you've got your Amasek. Seraph takes it.
I'm trying not. I'm trying not to take in all the smut around me and just sit patiently waiting in a dark corner in a black club where I'm just wondering, what my mate's doing next. I can't see.
Okay, Gaius, I'd like to make a willpower test. With plus 30, please.
Okay, yeah.
100.
Yeah.
I can just see him like like Murphy when he's in that Robocop in my chair. He's just like all the smoke there.
What's going on, Gaius? What's going on, man? I mean, last night, you left the meal, a really nice fancy meal, and Lady Pagny beckoned you to follow her to her bedroom, and you went with her, right? You went with her, and you proved that you might not all be flesh and blood anymore. You might be metal and ceramic and plastech and all that other stuff that's going on in your body. But you went back to her room with her, and you did things. You did things, man. You did things to a woman you've never done before, to anyone, not even yourself. And it was weird because it wasn't even your body. But yet today, you're in this place where that sort of behavior is welcomed and encouraged, and you're like, no, I don't like this. This is the wrong sort of smut, you think to yourself.
Yeah.
What a time to get, a conscience.
Sent you a message on Discord, Alan. You can have a look at it later on.
So, Gaius, yeah, you can close your mind off to the bizarre display of eroticism on the stage and all the other earthly pleasures here. If you wish to have a drink or a smoke or partake of anything else on offer, you can, but you are not compelled to.
Just gonna,
Right back, guys.
Gonna wait here for the inevitable call.
Okay. Gaius is just waiting. Siegfried, you said you were drinking your drink.
Yeah.
Having an eye out stick as well.
I think he's going to change his eye colour to yellow.
Okay.
As he looks around and watches the frivolity.
Can you give me a cruise test, please, as you neck this drink? Quite strong Amasek. So it would ordinarily be plus 20 instead of plus 30, but you're also fatigued, so it'll just be a plus 10.
Oh god, my cruise is terrible. Oh no. I'm gonna get wasted. It's poison. Oh. Nah,
Okay.
can't see that. The spell of obscure is making me want to obscure it.
You neck the Amasek, and it goes straight to your head, Siegfried. You gain another level of fatigue. You're now on 3 levels of fatigue.
I'm gonna stim myself.
Stims only last for a matter of minutes, by the way.
Oh no.
I'm not trying to metagame or anything, but you've got 1. If you use it now, it will wear off in several minutes.
Right. Okay. I think I'm at 3 levels of fatigue. I think I was passed out.
No, it's when you go over 3, you pass out.
Ah, right.
If you want to, if I ask you to make a roll from now on, and you say, I'm going to stim myself, then I'll allow that. But I would say don't stim yourself now, because it would wear off before it was useful.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw you that boat, because otherwise it feels like you're going to use the stim and just roleplay for 10 minutes and make no rolls. So,
yeah.
So yeah, you can use it. I'll let you use it. Where, you can literally sit there. Someone could ask you a question. You can go, I can answer now. I'll let you do that. That's fine. It might be a little weird, but I don't think it's worth wasting.
Okay.
Where are we?
Is there anybody on hand with any narcotics and stuff around?
Say again?
Is there anybody around, like, dishing out anything?
The barmaid did offer you alcohol, narcotics, and food and other things.
And I'm anywhere.
There's a button on the.
Yeah, I'm gonna press it.
Okay. Come back to that. Hannibal. Are you doing anything in particular while you're waiting around, having a drink?
What was the cost of that drink, actually? So.
No, I'm not. But seeing that Siegfried's getting a bit fucking wafty because he clearly can't handle his liquor, I'll give him a cigar. I've got special cigars.
Yeah, so he offers you quite a thick
Smoke
cigar.
that. Smoke that when you're feeling a little bit weak.
He lights it immediately.
No time
Out of character, they're stim-laced cigars.
Fantastic. Yeah, that is fantastic.
I'm going to come up with some proper rules for these stimuli cigars because I feel like they wouldn't work in a combat situation, but they might work differently out of a combat simulation situation.
Yeah.
So I need to come up with some proper rules for like maybe it can knock off a level of fatigue or I don't know, but I'll come up with something. But yeah, you like the cigar?
Cool. Yeah, he smokes it. It's like good. It's good.
Okay, and you wait. Seraph pours herself a drink. She has a drink. She where is Seraph anyway? She sat there. She sat. Okay. She's gonna offer the bottle out that she's bought to Hannibal. There's a little cheeky glint in her eye.
I'll take a swig. I ain't got a glass.
Okay. As you go to pass the bottle back to Seraph, she gestures to your left to Siegfried.
Why not? When in Desolate. He pours a little bit into his glass, like into his empty glass.
Okay. Hannibal.
Gives her a nod.
Hannibal, are you taking like a full mouthful?
Yeah.
Give me a carouse at +30. Siegfried, what are you doing? Are you taking a full shot's worth out of the bottle into your glass?
Yeah.
Are you going to drink it all?
We'll have a sip.
A little sip? Okay, you're just having a sip. That's fine. You don't have to make a roll for that.
I'm waiting for the narcotics tray. I'm trying to see if I can get something, like a few pick-me-ups or something like that. Pick me up.
Okay, Hannibal, you feel fine. It's quite strong, but it's very tasty. Actually, it's one of the best drinks you've probably ever drunk, and it makes you wonder how much Seraph has just spent on this particular drink. And you see, she's relaxing now. This strange, quite het-up Seraph that you saw earlier, where she was getting wound up, where she was on point, where she was a killer, it seems to have washed away, replaced by the girl you first met, Hannibal, and the girl that probably most of you guys know. This very relaxed, quite cocky young lady. You know, she's no longer battle-ready constantly. And she's relaxing, and she's fixating as well on the barmaid that served you. She's constantly watching this barmaid as she walks back and forth. And this is going to go on for some time, unless anyone else wants to do something. After about 30-40 minutes, Diego, this man in the suit, comes over, the slick back hair, the little over glasses. He comes over to you and he says, "The king will see you now."
Cool.
Hannibal, I'd like you to make an awareness check, please, at +20.
First awareness check I've passed tonight.
Okay, as you rise and head over to the king's booth, you see his previous guests departing from this shrouded, weird, misty booth. They step out of the blurred privacy field. There's no mistaking their loyalties. You've seen their distinct hairstyles, their clothing, their tattoos of writhing serpents and spiraling sunbursts before. They are the Golden Dawn gang, the people that you encountered before in that arena. There's two of them. One of them clocks you, Hannibal, and he nods at you. You don't recognise him in particular, so clearly he must know you, either from that night in the arena when you were fighting or from your brief visit to the lair, but you don't recognise him.
Okay, I'll just nod back.
Okay. Okay. And those two guys head over to the bar as Diego leads you into the privacy field. And as you get closer to it, the volume of the lay pound music slithers away to almost nothing. And as you head in here, I'm just going to put you all in here.
Got loads of XP to spend, I just realised.
Oh, have you? Have you? Are you operating at 85% efficiency, Johnny? Do you
Probably a
think?
bit less.
42%. He hasn't leveled up in 1.5 years.
It's been a while. So you enter the privacy field, and the volume of this music drops. And sitting there in this booth, as you go in, everything outside it becomes blurred. Sitting there in this booth, there are these two, what can only be described as buxom beauties, dusky-skinned, dark-eyed women on King Sanchez's arm, and you get the impression, looking at them, they might be genetic twins. They look almost like identical copies of each other, and they're fawning over him, stroking at him constantly. And as the four of you enter, and I've left Seraph slightly outside just for reasons, he sits there in his chair, reclining with these two women draped all over him, big thick cigar in his mouth, glass of Amasec in his hand, and he says, "Look at this. 4 of my most recent new friends, all together. I had no idea you all knew each other. Welcome, welcome, all of you. And welcome to some new faces." And he looks at you, Siegfried, and nods. And then he says, "I had a feeling this would be a business meeting when I heard you were coming here. Tell me." He leans forward, the two women still clinging to his arms, taps the ash of the cigar into a tray, takes a sip of his Amasec, and he smiles wildly and says, "What can the king do for you today?"
We've got some hardware we need to unload.
Pause for Johnny, no? He doesn't say that. He says, hardware. He looks around at the two women. You do realize I am a legitimate businessman, yes?
Okay, we got these through legitimate means.
That is good news. I would not want to be caught in a... and he glances at Gaius and says, "Lawman's trap." He clicks his fingers, and the two women get up and leave.
Gaius laughs at that.
How can you stand it, Gaius? In the corner of the room, by the way, at the moment, in the corner of this booth, there is you, there is the four of you, Seraph, King Sanchez, there is Diego, his right-hand man, this very tall, dusky-skinned man in a suit, and in the corner, slumbering is this what can only be described as a pit bull with mechanical legs and jaw, and it's sleeping at the moment. It's just snoring obnoxiously in the corner. And he dismisses his two lady friends, and he says, "So, you tell me about this hardware, and we decide if we want to do business, yes?"
Pass him the list. What's on the list?
Yeah, so I mean, we'll say we're taking scans presumably, and got data slate here to show him goods on offer.
You can do a catwalk. You can be wearing armour.
I found the armour. I cleaned mine up so I could advertise.
On the catwalk, on the catwalk.
Music outside suddenly changes to an ancient tune.
Okay, so you're showing in the data slate with all the stuff.
Yeah, all the specifications. Yeah. So then full accounting of what we're trying to sell.
He looks at it very briefly. He takes the slate from you, Vernetta, and he just looks. He always seems to be lounging, whatever position he's sat in. He always just seems to be lounging. He's always got this cigar in his hand. He looks at this data slate and he very lazily slides through it. Just skims through it, and then he hands it off to Diego. Diego takes up. Diego starts to put in a bit more effort, and King Sanchez says, he looks you up and down, Vernetta, full length, head to toe, and back up again, slowly, awkwardly, and it makes you a little uncomfortable the way he looks at you. And he says, "You're the brains, yes? You're the smart one that Canny speaks of, no?"
So just 1 second, Dave. I do apologise. I'm just going to stop for a sec.
This is a GM tactic known as disrupt your fellow GM so they forget their train of thought.
Is it working?
Yeah, I can feel my mind slipping away as Alan steps away from him.
Loving the pound music, mate.
Maps that all day. Are we
Say-
still on the same one?
Are you still on the same one, I think? Can you not see it?
That's why I've been right. That's been right. I've been saying black, and I'm stood in this dark room and I can't see nothing.
I don't know why you can't see it. It's really weird.
I've reloaded a couple of times. I thought,
It's quite peculiar.
No. It's
wrong
not.
Gaius.
It's not. It's not. It's because it's the wrong Gaius.
Wrong Gaius.
It's the wrong Gaius.
Too.
Yeah, that's why. It's the wrong Gaius. It's been the
Maybe,
wrong Gaius the whole
Dave. Maybe
time.
you should delete the old Gaius, maybe.
I thought I had. I don't know where that one's come from. But anyway, so yeah, that's what you can see. You're in this booth. So yeah, he says to you, "You're the brains, yeah, behind this operation."
And I'm gonna say to him, I am the one who is speaking on behalf of our party.
Canny's special friend, no?
That's exactly right.
He's a good boy. Have you seen him lately?
How many days ago was it that I did see him? Can you remind me, Dave?
For you,
I'm not quite
probably 2 at the most.
And he was back at the mansion.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll say, yeah, I've seen him.
It's just he has not been around here for some time, We give him a home, we give him purpose, we make him new friends, all these nice things, and he just disappear, I mean, I don't want to use the phrase taking advantage, but
So I'm gonna say, Canny just likes to roam. He's not the kind of guy to stay in one place. He'll be back. He's loyal, and he'll always pay his way. Don't need
sure,
to worry
I'm
about
sure.
Kenny.
Oh, no worry, no concern. Yes. You know, Kenny
Probably
is
just, I don't know.
he's one
Yeah,
of my
probably just
people.
asleep somewhere.
My family, you understand this, yes? And he leans into you and he puts his
likes
hand
his
on your
nap.
knee.
No. I shall bat aside his hand. This is Femessa.
Okay. He looks a little bit taken aback as you bat the hand away, but he also recoils a little, like he realizes he's maybe overstepped his boundaries. And he says, of course, I mean, no, nothing by this. He quickly becomes very professional. He says, you speak of hardware, yes?
Yes. We acquired this in a game of chance.
He looks over the data slate again. He's very businesslike all of a sudden, Vernetta. You realise that, he's whatever he was doing before, he was maybe flirting's too strong a word, but it was definitely very, touchy-feely and a little bit. Yeah.
He was smooging.
Yeah, and he's not that on the head now. He's suddenly really professional. He looks this over, looks your data slate over, and I'm going to ask you for a dice roll. Where the fuck is it?
What dice roll?
Black! Black! I would like to ask you for a dice roll with this will be a like a barter roll or something akin to that. And if anyone here has anything that can help you, offer it up.
Oh look, have we got anything that's in assist here, guys?
So this is like a bit of an abstraction of the attempt to do a deal with King Sanchez.
I don't have barter.
Yeah. Well, it depends what
Okay.
route Vernetta's going to take, and if any of you have a skill that you can assist her with.
I've got inquiry.
Well, I would say so. What I would like to do here, guys, I say we've got to evaluate between us. We've got the specifications, so try and make it almost like a technical sale as to the value. I don't know if anyone does actually have any barter. I don't think anyone does in this group.
I think no, I don't.
I don't think you do.
I'm not sure I do.
No, I don't.
Basically.
Yeah. So we'll try and instead of making it like a charisma based sort, just try and sell it on the benefits of the value of the items.
Yeah.
And,
That's
it should
doable.
Be like give them a proper inventory and try and do it that way.
So yeah, so the way to do this is make your evaluate roll with any bonuses for anyone else that's got it. I will make you an offer and I will let you know what you think that is in comparison to reality based on what you roll.
Yeah. Anyone happy with that or try something else? Yeah. So anyone else got to evaluate?
Siegfried hasn't he?
Yeah, I believe he has, yeah.
Yeah, if you could give an assist.
I think I've got
Okay.
it. No, I don't have it. That's Carl.
All right. Okay.
Noise. Just straight test them.
Okay. So you just failed.
Huh?
Right. I'd also like one of you to decide. Well, actually, Vernetta's done most of this. So, Vernetta, I want you to make the fellowship test as well.
Oh no. That's dreadful. I'm good at these.
And it's gonna have a modifier. Just a second.
Name drop modifier, please.
Plus 10 modifier, please. Nice.
Yeah, I made that one.
Sweet. Okay. So I'm going to make you an offer. of. So we've got the armor. The armor. It's not much. Okay. I'm not going to dwell too much on what the individual cost is because I have to fuck about and figure it all out.
Yeah.
But the offer that is made, Vernetta, you think is reasonable.
Huh?
And you manage to sort of negotiate a little bit upwards, so you get a little bit more.
I'll say to him, we've got the goods nearby. Can you assist bringing them to where you want them to be?
He says, but of course. My man Diego will make arrangements for this. And Diego again makes the sound of the sign of the Aquila and turns to leave. He says, but please, relax, unwind, let down your hair, enjoy all the delights my club has to offer.
Thank you.
We do.
Okay, so yeah, he's offering what you suspect is slightly more than half book price to metagame it a bit, Alan. Cool. And if there's anything else anyone would like to do or say in the club, please do.
So I would like to basically comes into our other group. What do you want to do now, guys? It's like, do we need to try and lock down the money now?
Well, to see how much it is. Oh, we're going to do the meeting.
So who do you want to meet with? So we've already we're trading with Sanchez, aren't we?
Yeah, you're trading on King Sanchez.
Well, we should do the trade then, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Cool. Right.
He's gonna get Diego to take care of that, isn't he? So
He is, yeah.
we've got to let our guys know that they've
Yeah.
we've got the
Be aware of it.
expecting company. It's part of the transaction.
Yeah, so I'd like to comes into fucking Gnaeus as well and say that I'm suspicious of this Sanchez. He seems incredibly untrustworthy. And see if he can like range away from where the others are and make an assessment. This seems like a job for Gay Batman.
Okay, Gay Batman replies with one word: acknowledged.
Okay.
Okay, anything else you want to do here? Or do you want to just carry on having a great time in the club, up in the club?
Dave, can I want to know? Dave, sorry, I've gone. Sorry, you guys.
No.
I was just going to say, Gaius should take the club. It's too
Okay.
much for a small
He's being very sensible, is he?
Yeah.
Now, can I tap into this dog I'm right beside Dave? I just want to see if I can hack into this dog.
Just a second, I've got two
I'm in a
major
hacky
issues
mood
right
today.
now. One of them is I can't see the map. The other is I've run out of beer. Which one are you? Oh, you mean Rover?
I know. Yes, Rover.
Yeah, of course you can. Are you jumping into watch or to control?
Just control.
To control. Okay. So I'd like you to make a tech use test to start with at a +10. And then a willpower test, please, if you could.
Pass.
Okay, so that's 4 degrees of pass. You punch your way into this dog. You're suddenly in the dog. You are a
Are you
dog.
being smutty again?
No, you.
You're being smutty
No,
again, Dave.
not yet. You get the overwhelming urge
Not
to
yet.
lick your balls, but you restrain yourself. Then you punch to
Have
another
balls,
layer
Dave.
of
You know that.
depth to this dog, and you are the
The inner
dog,
dog.
Alan. You are the dog now. You have control of this
Okay.
dog briefly.
I say what I'll do is I'll leave it doing what it is, but I'll just maintain control of the dog. But I'll just keep it doing what it is. I'm not trying to alert the fact that I've taken control of the dog. Leave it. We'll have it just like act casual, but like not like it's acting like too casual.
Okay.
It's all about the diet
I-
pound.
Casual dog. It's a diet pound.
Casual
It's only
dog.
wafer thin.
All right. So, yeah, that's going on.
You know, it's just a pretend dog. Just just
Diego,
waiting,
Diego
biding
leaves.
its time. You never know when that dog might come in handy.
just a second. Diego leaves. He goes off to do his thing, and as he's well, no, maybe maybe 3 or 4 minutes after he leaves, you hear a in your Vox bead, Siegfried.
Yeah.
And it says, Lady Rains to Lord Rains.
Ding dong.
Hello, my dear. What can I do for you?
Something rather peculiar has just happened, my lord.
Oh, do tell.
It's kind of difficult to describe, but you know those marks I have on certain parts of my body?
Oh yes. Smith.
Yes, they're kind of setting things on fire. Like,
Oh.
I've just burned 2 good dresses, a dressing gown of Lady Pagny's, and I might have taken Serge's eyebrows off.
Oh. Maybe give them flamethrough dresses.
I mean, that's certainly an option, but I mean, I think it's more concerning that it happened at all.
Maybe just having an off day.
Yes, that's the thing.
Have you slept enough?
I don't think you understand, my dear. It has been 35 years.
Maybe I've awakened something in you.
Oh, for throne's sake. She cuts the connection.
So basically, Spire Pagny's on fire.
No. Trantia's back with the weapons.
Oh yeah.
Pretending to be your lady wife.
Okay, so
Upward always.
right. So that's that bit. And Diego has gone off to do the deal, or to make the offer, rather. I'll worry about that later.
I was just getting into that pound, Dave.
I was as well.
Wait.
It's really bad.
I mean,
How could you?
how could you take the pound away?
Keep the pound.
All right, Farage.
Replace it with the euro.
Should all see a different map now.
Yes.
Meanwhile, several hundred kilometers away, a few hundred meters down beneath Desolium surface. No, above Desolium surface. The drinks are served. I would like you guys, Corel, Silas, Slab, and Chavi, to make an awareness test, please, at a +10.
I was going to say, fucking music is shit. Hello. I'll re-roll it as Kenny.
Corral's awareness is awesome as always.
Last on a re-roll.
Okay, so that was the only one of you to get it was fucking Chavi. Jesus. Okay. You're all sat here in this bar in the Oasis, out in the middle of the wastes. And Chavi, I'm going to call you Chavi for a while. You see everyone gets their
Quite
drinks.
right, Dave. You do what you got to do, Dave.
You see all these different people that you're with now get the drinks. And Agnetha receives her drink in this odd, tall, golden chalice-shaped cup. And it's studded with gems. It's very unusual. It catches your eye. And yeah, that's about it. That's about it. And she raises a glass and says, "Bottoms up." Takes a sip. Is everyone else having a drink? And by everyone else, I mean Corel, Chavi, and Slab, and Silas.
Of course, I will have a drink.
I don't mind if I partake.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean, we might be dead tomorrow.
you might.
Might as well
You
have a
might.
Right.
You might if we drink this.
Everyone that's
I mean, this wears on the chest.
everyone that's taking a drink.
Trust me.
Carews test +20, please.
God. Oh no, Corral's please.
That's 3 degrees of failure for Silas.
Hey!
Sweet. You know about the drink. I mean, it's not the best drink. You know, it's not the best quality stuff out here in the middle of the waste. It's made from fermented fucking grox piss or whatever. You don't know. You don't live out here, but it's wild. It's an interesting heady aroma of a. Oh God, you think you are drinking animal piss.
But the animal was an alcoholic, it's fine.
And let me just do a thing. There we go.
That's hit a spot.
I'd like you all to make a. Oh, have you already made an awareness test?
I'm
You
going to
might have
re-roll
an
my
awareness
Corral's test. With a fate point. See if we can get it.
Okay.
Yes. Whoa, brings up sides.
Okay. And as you're all sitting there in this pub, Agnetha's being a bit weird over there. Look, you think? Canny, you've been very aware of this woman with the hammer that's like this massive two-handed warhammer that's like on some cables that snake to a power pack. She's been watching you since you arrived here. She's been giving you some side eye, and you've been staring back at her. And this has been going on for some time. And finally, at this point, she pushes back her chair and she stands and she hefts this warhammer off the table onto her shoulder. And she's a big woman. I mean, you're a big lad. You know, you're much bigger than she is. But she heads over towards you. She doesn't seem remotely intimidated. And she kneels and leans on the table with a hammer on her shoulder. And she's about 1.5 feet away from you now, Canny. And she looks you dead in the eye and she says, "Hey now, have we all met before?" And she gestures between you and her.
Yeah. Don't believe I've had the pleasure. Sure I would have remembered you.
She smiles and says, "I mean, sure. I mean, you got a real common look about you, you know. But I can't help but wonder if we've met before. Does the name Tal Marek mean anything to you?"
Yeah.
She looks around at you, Slab. Says, "You know that name, boy?"
Yeah, he's
What?
over there. He's
What?
sitting next to me. He's the big fat fella you're talking to.
She looks back at you, Kenny. Says, "My, I thought I was going to have an interesting day, but I didn't realize it would be this interesting." And she sits down with you, and that's where we'll end it.
Oh,
Mm.
good game, Dave.
Game.
Yeah.
Cool.
I lasted another.
Yeah, another
Yeah.
celebration.
Yeah, I'll say, Dave, I especially enjoyed when you went full Gaius going. You know what I mean? It sounds like the. What's up, Gaius? How can you open narcotics on display? I really enjoyed that. Like I say, that was just right for me. And I had some like when you like, I got some proper giggles from that. So after.
I could hear you
yeah,
giggling,
so-
yeah.
Yeah. So I really did enjoy that. That bit especially that was very very good. So.
Of course.